Hello, everyone. This is Old Nan with the She-Wolves of Winter, and we're here tonight to just have a fun time. We're going to talk about spoilers, Rhaegar, Stark reunions, possibly, and anything else we can think of to talk about. So we're not stressing tonight with notes and such things as that. We're just going to have fun. I did it again. Hold on. I did it again. I do it
What'd
every
you do?
time, dadgummit. I keep
What'd you
forgetting to
do
mute
again?
myself. I keep
Oh,
forgetting to
that's
mute myself. All right,
that's
we
all
got
right.
7 people out here tonight, and we sure do thank you. We got Pete Easy was first here. He was the earliest tonight. Karazin 8, Biotic
Oh, Carrie,
Flux.
hi, Carrie.
Okay, let me see. If y'all see anybody else, let me know. I got, oh Lord. See, that's why I can't keep up with the chats. I can't do 2 things at once. So.
It's not easy.
No, it's not.
Let me find us, and then I'm a little bit behind. There we are. All right.
Going.
Hi, guys. I'm Ashley from the Iron Underneath. How are you? It's good to see. It's good to be here. Sorry we've been gone. It seems like a long time, but I guess it's just because I don't know why, but it just seems like it's been a long time. Anyway, it's nice to be back. It's nice to see all of you. Hi, Biotic. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you guys. Hi, Pete. And yeah, this will just be a fun night. In season 7. So I'll hand it over to you, Hiking with Steffi.
Okay, hey everybody. Yeah, we're just gonna be talking about the trailer and what we got going on and all that stuff. So I'm happy you came and joined us tonight. So can't wait to talk about this.
All right. Well, I got the trailer on the TV back here. Should I just play it without the music or anything, or is that a copyright law? Someone tell me. Uh-oh. Sorry, Steffie.
You should be fine because it's a trailer, right?
Yeah, it's on Roku.
Yeah, it should be fine because they put it up themselves, right? It's legal that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's theirs. It's their promo. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, maybe I did that. Can you see it, everybody?
Let's watch it. I cannot see it. Nan? Maybe she's
I'm just
trying to get it ready.
away.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. Let's go back and retry this.
This was a really cool trailer.
Yeah, this is kind of...
Sorry, Cynthia.
Just...
While you're doing that, I'll just talk for a second. Have you got it?
I got it.
Great.
We had Cersei coming through and saying enemies to the east. We had a view of Grey Worm. And when they come back, and I don't know if you girls noticed it when y'all saw it, but they came back and you see a shot of Duskendale. So I don't know if they're going to get into a lot of the Ares being at Duskendale. We talked about that somewhat last time we were on 2 weeks ago. But I just thought it was interesting that the map came back to Duskendale. And let's see what else is there.
I agree, Cynthia. That was cool.
And that's the south. She got enemies to the south. And then it shows enemies to the north. And it's going to the castle. And last hearth, and all that. So, and then it goes beyond the castle. Then this is my favorite shot, Arya. When she says enemies to the south, we get Arya. Anybody want to step in on this one so far?
Yeah, I will. I noticed some cool stuff here. First of all, I think the Lannister armor and shields are gorgeous. Even though they're not my favorite house, I love the love sense. The enemies to the east, when it shows the Unsullied and Grey Worm with the Targaryen sigil, it's a new sigil. It's 3 dragons each eating each other's tails, so it's the exact serpent of the underworld of Norse mythology. It's very cool. It was cool to see that. And then the crisscross of the diamond shape on his armor was interesting to me, because that's a symbol that we see a lot having to do with things like Garth Greenhand and the Reach and Freemasonry. So there's also a sigil of House Darklin that is Duskendale's. They were the owners. Their seat was Duskendale, and their sigil was this diamond shape of crisscross diamond shape. And then when we see the map, cool that we saw Duskendale. I love that, because I hope we get a little bit of an explanation of King Aerys being held there for an entire year, while Tywin Lannister could have gotten him out and didn't, which is what I think drove him crazy. And I think he was castrated in there, as do a few other people. And I'll let someone else talk from there.
Yeah, okay. You guys were bringing up Duskendale, and I had that too. And if in the previous season we sort of ended it with Bran uploading the past, kind of. So like I'm wondering if he's still uploading, like if he's just like in that state where he's just like completely unconscious and just zoned out. So that would be like a great way for them to reopen the season, where he's still uploading all this information. I think that would be a great way to open it, to have like all these like numerous backflashes. Yeah, so I think that's the whole entire point of behind the Duskendale part. As for, I didn't particularly like the trailer. I found the one from the previous season to be a lot better. The one with James Vincent McMorrow, I think his name is. I forget the song name though. Hold on, let me look it up on iTunes quickly. But yeah, the opening scene where like Cersei is just walking, like you already had a trailer where they're already walking, and it just seemed like we've already seen it. Breaking Hearts, that's it, that's the song. So yeah, I like that trailer better. So I feel like it was a little too much, right? Like you already released this other trailer with this exact same theme, almost like opening. I feel like you could have done something else. As for the east and the directions, I don't like it visually. That they're going just straight north, but they're saying east, west. It's a little confusing. Like if you were to just jump into it and watch it, like I understand that there's a huge fan base to this show, but there are people that haven't watched the show. And if you're going to be like, oh, watch this show, look at this trailer, right? Like, and this is the first thing they see, they would be like, what the hell is this? Right? Just my opinion. Like if I were to critique it, I wouldn't have done it like that at all. As for Grey Worm and the Unsullied, yeah, I liked the outfit for sure. Yeah, and then I guess you can oh wait, hold on. The sharpening of the Valyrian blade was or the supposed Valyrian blade was a little weird. I'm wondering who that is. If it's only being done with one hand, you don't see the other hand. So I'm kind of thinking it might be Jaime. Sharpening later on, we'll discuss it, but I feel like that might be it. That blade. Arya in the Riverlands. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little empty for me for Arya in that scene.
Yeah, but it could be foreshadowing, you know, especially when you get to the other part. Another thing I found, you were talking about the direction, is that when they went to the south, the map part flipped over to the Vale of Arryn of all things. And that was kind of a little bit different. You know, I wondered, that was kind of a misdirection. You know, you would have thought it would have been at Dorne or the Reach or something like that. And that may have been a spear that was being sharpened. So that's possible too.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought up Arryn too, because aren't they in the north? Like, that's the problem I have with like this. There's a lot of like visual issues with this video I found. Yeah, it like if Peter Baelish got Robin and Arryn to take the Vale troops to the north to fight Ramsay, you think they would all be there? You think you wouldn't even show that area? Like, who's controlling that area right now?
That's kind of what I thought they showed it for, was to say enemies to the north, and it implies enemies to the north as far as the White Walkers, but Cersei doesn't believe in the White Walkers, so maybe it's implying that the enemy in the north is Littlefinger, trying to manipulate people, like the Starks, like Sansa. And maybe, you know, he's trying to manipulate Jon, and that's not going to happen. Obviously, Jon chokes him out, which is awesome to see. But going back to the blade sharpening, I thought that was definitely a spear. Yeah, and good catch on that. I thought that also looked like a woman's hand, and I wondered if it looked like darker skin, maybe. So I wondered if it was someone from Dorne, maybe Lady Nym or someone like that, because it looked also like they were in woolen shift, like they were in a. But if they were in a cell, they wouldn't have their spear. So I wondered who it was, but I wondered because of the spear, it makes me think it's one of the Dornish, and then the scene later with Yara and Ilaria makes me think they're gearing up for something, the Sand Snakes, because I think they're going to go out this season. I think everyone's so sick of, they're probably so sick of listening to how much everyone hates the Sand Snakes that they're going to kill them off this year, I would assume. Hold
on, I just want to jump in there. Yeah, you're probably right with the spear thing too. It makes sense, especially when you're considering like Obara and her spear, right? Yeah, so
Obara, I meant. Also, yeah, not Lady Nym. Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes makes sense.
Also,
yeah, it does.
When you talk about it going to the Vale of Arryn, when she says the South, now that could be because of Littlefinger and his connections with the Iron Bank. So that could be very much farther south.
Right.
And I just thought of that too. I didn't.
That's exactly what I had thought, was that it was Littlefinger, and that it was Littlefinger, the Iron Bank, because that's who she's fighting. She's fighting the Iron Bank, the Lannister Tully forces, or the Tully forces, the Tyrell forces, the Martells, and whatever comes from the north, which would be the Vale of, well, all the north, but it would really be Littlefinger manipulating and her. Not that maybe he will. Maybe he'll manipulate the Vale a little bit. But I just figured it was, yeah, having to do with the Iron Bank and maybe what he's trying to do at the Vale.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could come up with when it showed it going to the Vale of Arryn when she said south. So, you know.
Yeah.
That's another thing I had a problem with during this video, because as the video progresses, you see Cersei with like basically a buttload of money. Like, let's put it that way. Like, it
Yeah.
seems like
Right.
she decked out everything
I
that she
know.
possibly could have. Like, you're talking about she has a painting on the floor, right? Her entire Lannister army is all decked out in shields and new outfits, and then you have the mountain, right? Like,
True.
but
There's
if I were
yeah.
if I were to look at Aaron and for the whole South term, I could also imagine Olenna Tyrell and that whole connection, the Joffrey, Marjorie, and that, like, how he
Right.
was also a part of that, because you're talking about they're south of King's Landing too, right?
True.
Like, to me, the
Uh-huh.
Iron Bank's over west, and it's also higher than King's Landing. It's more near where the Vale of Arryn is, but I get what you're saying.
It is west, yeah, you're right. Well, east, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
that's
seems-
good.
Shall we continue, ladies?
Yeah, I just want to say that is a good observation, Steffi, because they're not staying with continuity if they're having Cersei have that much money in her possession to deck out soldiers and soldiers even coming from.
I think that nobody has told the merchants in King's Landing that the Lannisters are broke. And they're scared to not provide her with anything after what she did at the High Septon and, at the Sept. So, yeah, I'd be giving her all the armor she wanted as long as she had that wildfire. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, I tried to riddle this out last season, and like, for me, okay, so basically Stannis and Davos go to the Iron Bank to get money. They grant him the money, whatever. The Tyrells go, Mace Tyrell goes, and he doesn't get anything.
Right.
But maybe in the books it's a little different compared to the show, but they give a lot of money to the Faith of the Seven, right?
Yeah.
They give like crowns and jewels and all this stuff.
Tyrells.
You're talking about they blew that place up. You're basically talking about there is no charity giving anymore from that location, which is a lot of money. You're talking about there's no like poor people that they need to feed. Like, people are scared.
Yeah.
Like, imagine going up to Cersei and being like, "Can I have food?" Like, I would be like, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like going up
Yeah.
to Marie Antoinette and asking her for food. It's the same thing. It really is. She'll just kill you.
Well, that's a possibility, but I sure wouldn't be asking for money if she wouldn't be giving food.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe she's just still playing with the money that they've borrowed, and now that it's gone, she's gonna have to find a way to cover it up. All been spent on this map and this army by now. All what was left.
Well, Cersei's not one to not get her way. She's going to get her way one way or another as long as she can, and even if it's intimidation, murder, or what, So.
Well, there could have been a situation. There was quite a few situations. Remember when she did, before she was in prison, say that Littlefinger could have Winterfell?
Yes.
He could have given her quite a bit of money before he took off and before she went into the cells.
I don't think so, Ashley, because now we're strictly going off the book. The show, because, it's kind of farther.
Yeah.
But when he went back to King's Landing, he basically told her, what have you got to lose? I'll do it. You know, he didn't
Right.
act like
He did. Yeah.
she did. She basically told him, you know, you're going to do it yourself, or, you know, if you want it, you got to do it yourself. Because they weren't giving him nothing. It was the take I got on it.
That's true. I guess you're right. Yeah. It's been a little while.
Okay.
So yeah,
We'll,
that's about it for what I've got for that.
all right. We'll go on a little bit and see if I can get the timing on this pausing right. And we get the floor. Now, the floor that's being painted, it's not complete. It's not all but this corner, it seems complete. So, anybody want to comment on that expensive match you got there?
My sister says you shouldn't paint a floor, first off.
Yeah, I mean, you know, mosaics with tiles I can see, but painting, you know, it's going to be covered up. It's probably not permanent. And I don't know, is there a roof there?
Yeah, that's what I
Is
thought,
it
that there was a roof.
enclosed?
Like, as soon as that thing got wet by any rain or snow, it's gonna wash away. There you are.
I thought it was the
This is
courtyard too, thinking, that's odd. It is gonna snow here.
yeah. She'll have people sweeping it up every day, you know.
Yeah.
They're freezing.
Repaint it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Do it in
Actually,
the cold.
Jack brought up a good. No, not Jack. Sheena gave up a good. She had a good comment that Euron could be the guy who helps her get some coin
Who?
once he ends up coming down.
Oh,
Euron.
Mm-hmm.
If she ends up making
I
a
see.
marriage pact or any kind of pact with Euron, he could give her some money.
Yeah.
But where this money came from, I don't know.
Your guess
Yeah,
is mine.
Yeah, when it comes to the picture, you definitely notice that she's on the neck, which is the twins, and that's where Walder Frey just died. So that's definitely an interesting location for her to be on. Maybe they just got word of it or something like that. Also, you have the Valonqar prophecy from Maggie the Frog about the choking of the neck. That's definitely interesting, especially when Jaime's right there and it's the gold hand and like that whole scenario right there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I thought it was
there,
cool. She was
Steffie.
standing on the neck.
Yeah.
Like,
Good thinking.
well, and also, I'm sorry, Cynthia or Nan, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I just told her it was some good thinking there. I agree.
Yeah, and she's standing on the neck because right when she says something about are they that's coming for us. What does she say? I had it written down here.
No matter
she says
who.
whatever stands in our way. When she says whatever stands in our way, and it shows her standing on the neck. So whatever stands in their way is the children of the forest, the White Walkers, and she's standing on the neck. It seems like it's odd. It's Smoke Kalen. It's the Valonqar prophecy. So it was I like that part. Cool.
Is it possible that could be some foreshadowing that the shows people have just given us a little foreshadowing?
I think it's major foreshadowing.
Cool. All right, we'll go a little bit farther. This is where she's talking about, and there's that pretty armor. Now, this is the one. I've heard various people's opinions on this one. I will tell you mine right now. I think it's the Iron Bank. It could be Euron. Yes, it could be. But it seems like, I don't know, if it was Euron, it seems like there'd be more guards and stuff there. I don't think they're too worried about a guy from the Iron Bank. That's just my thoughts on it.
Okay, I'll jump in this scene, you see obviously the mountain. He's massive. He's like right there. You see Qyburn in the background. Jamie's obviously there. So also in the following scene, she kind of clenches the chair like she's pissed off. For me, the guy that's standing in front of them, it doesn't look like Ron to me. He's way too small and skinny. More or less, he looks like a messenger, like an envoy or something like that. And basically, he's announcing that Daenerys is there. I think that's what it is. And she's like,
Nice.
"Oh my god, like I'm gonna kill this bitch," right? So yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
that's
good
a good. I thought it was Kevin maybe being dismissed. It's really rough, but I guess he already was, huh? So yeah, that throne room was cool to see because you see all the changes in it. You'll also see that Jamie is right next to her. Mountains on one side, Jamie's on the other.
Yeah, I just don't. Like I said, if it was Euron, I think they would have more guards in there because if he, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Steffi.
For me, it doesn't. It's not Keegan Lannister. He died in the Sept. He was present when with Marjorie and Loras and the High Sparrow and all those people last season. So he's dead. He's out of the game.
Oh God, you're right.
So it makes sense why.
Sorry, I haven't.
Sorry.
Yeah. Just saying sorry. I haven't watched the show for so long. I forgot that he was in the Sept. Yep, he's dead.
Did you say that?
Sorry, go ahead.
He be dead.
He be dead. He be dead.
Yeah, but it also makes sense later on why the Lannister locations are also so vulnerable right now, right? You're talking about if Keegan Lannister's not there, then Randall Tarley's obviously not his second-hand man anymore, right? Which means that complete region is just it's up for the taking. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that kind of explains the show variating. You know, everybody was wondering why Randall Tarley would ever, can I say this? He's on the small council already in the books. So, you know, it seems to me that they're trying to follow along with the books. And it's looks like change is inevitable. You want to elaborate?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that you're right. This is it's a way of showing that the power structure is going to change. All these different areas are going to be controlled by different people. The Blackwater or any war, but the battles are getting worse and worse because we're heading towards whatever you want to call it, Ragnarok or whatever it is. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the cosmic year. It's the end of the cosmos. So it's just a rebirth and a cleansing of the earth. It's not the world's going to end. A lot of people will die, but I don't think it's that everybody will die and that the world will end. That's the cyclical. I always keep seeing.
I agree with you that it's a cycle, but I think it's all a part of balance. You know, and at some point, the balance was messed up in this planetoid space that we have here. And when what it's going to take to undo the curse that has messed it up, I don't know. But one thing that we do know from the A Song of Ice and Fire and other places is that when the dragons died out, that's when the winters became to get longer and the summers shorter and all that. But I think this has happened in a cycle before, and it will happen again. I think you're right.
Yeah, I agree with Ashley and you, Cynthia. So, but from like a realistic perspective, you're talking about if winter is coming, Cersei has to take control now, or she's never going to take control. Because you're talking about she doesn't have enough alliances to make it throughout the entire realm during winter either. You're talking about Stannis can barely make it from Castle Black to Winterfell in the winter because it was that bad. Like, especially in the books, it's emphasized that it's horrible during the winter. Like, people are eating other people. So Cersei would have no chance. You're talking. She's wearing furs in the opening credits, and it's not even snowing yet. Like, like, sorry, but you're not equipped for this weather.
No, she's not equipped. And then we know that Littlefinger has most of the grain and food that's in the that he could buy up, and she's probably going to try to take what she can from the reach and everything. So we've got a lot of changes, and the pace of this year, I hear, is supposed to be accelerated 10 times. So, yeah. I believe it was Nicholas Coster Walder that said that the pacing of this year is going to be like everything it took to do in a season, they're doing in an episode this year.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
kind
I
of looking forward to that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've got a lot to cover before a lot. And I actually heard an interview with I can't remember who it was, but I think it doesn't matter, but they were saying that it was the guy who played Doran Martell. He was saying that one day he had a script and the next day he was getting the call that he was dead. And so must have been the time they decided not to do the Dorne story and cut it short, which is why I think that the Sand Snakes will go pretty quick, because they've got to just get rid of Dorne so that they can tell the rest of the story. Dorne's just got to go.
Not unless they have, they may have book, what do you call it? Books thing, what do you call it?
What? So, the Sorella Sand?
No. They may have where the book, because they're in the book at the last. Some of them may still be in it. You don't know, because we've got the book too.
Oh,
I mean, we're looking at. They've got a lot of. They say they're going to tie up all these loose ends. Well, they've got a lot of loose ends to tie up. So this is, they can't get rid of them until they're gone in the book. Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's. It does. I think what you're saying is they're trying to tie up everything that they've gotten out so far. That they're not going to introduce much else new, except for looks like Casterly Rock. And a couple other things. We haven't gotten there yet, but the thing that the Sand Snakes are going to go about it when we get there. But the scene with Yara, I don't know if we want to talk about it yet until we get there, but Yara and Ilaria makes me things. I'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, I want to jump in on there for a second. Okay, when it comes to these characters in the show, I feel Dan and Dave are Dumb and Dumber. They made serious mistakes. They should have added certain characters, and they didn't. And they liked a sexy person, and they were appealed by that person. I personally don't like her acting. I don't find it appealing. I don't think she delivers the lines properly. So I'm very critical of this show. Like, you're talking about the books have taken like a huge chunk of my life. Like, I of course I'm going to be critical of it. So
right.
When George R. R. Martin hands you this book to develop into something, and you're just like, oh no, this character is useless. Like, it's kind of like the last season with the Sand Snakes, where Obara is, my father gave me a spear and poison, and he let me choose. Like, shouldn't your flipping sisters and basically your stepmother know this? Like, it's just like, you failed. You didn't stick to something which was written artistically so appealing, and you dropped the ball. Like, just they should go out and just admit it, like that they messed up, because Doran had no reason to be killed off, and neither should Tristan either. Like, and later, like when that video clip shows up, I have a bigger beef with that too. I'll explain myself, but yeah, there were certain things. As for this scene, though, you could tell the only reason why I brought up Keevan Lannister being dead is because in the scene, Cersei replaces the 7-pointed star with the Lannister sigil in the background. Mm-hmm. So it's emphasized there that, like, this is the aftermath of this. Like, it's been a while for at least King's Landing. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's discrepancies in it. Like, where are you getting this money, right? Like, so yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think some of them will come back to pretty much where we left off, and some of them the timing will be set ahead, because it looks like certain people are getting to where we've been waiting for them to go for a long time this year. So
I see what you're saying there. Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, Daenerys is getting to Westeros, Jon's getting to together, people are going home to Winterfell. But yeah, I just think that something happened during season 4, obviously, because at the end of season 5 was when we got that, the show is the show and the books are the books. And nobody quite listened to that, I think. It was like that sort of just, everybody just thought, well, they said that, but R plus L equals J. That kind of stuff. So I feel like it's something that they did in season 4 that caused a butterfly effect, like you said, that just, like, they killed off the wrong person. They killed off somebody who was really needed, and then George said, you're on your own. Downhill since then. It just is obvious.
Well,
yes, I can't
it doesn't make sense to me that if Doran, he gets killed off in the books, him and Tristan both, because this is the book they're trying to bring to a conclusion, a satisfactory conclusion. But that's the only thing I can think of, because they totally missed the grand Dornish conspiracy completely.
Yeah.
And I'll jump in on that too. Okay. For me, the moment they sent Marcella away, they should have instantly tied in Dorne.
Was the time.
Yeah, and then they should have developed those characters over the span of 2 seasons to emphasize, like, we should have gotten over in Martell before that. We should have gone into the Sand Snakes before that. We should have gone at everyone before that. Like, to me, the whole Marcella and the ear chopping off and Area Hota, and like, you could have explained those characters in such minimal time. It wasn't even funny. Like, you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Dorne has only been in the books for so long. Like, it's only been in the books, I think, for like 2 books, I think. So, like, to me, it doesn't seem like a lot of time. So they could have easily.
I agree with you, Steph.
It
could have. All you have
mad.
to say is, it does me too. I mean, all you have to say is Area Hota is one of the best fighters in the world. This is a story, blah, blah, blah. Here's the water gardens. It's where the children play. It's very simple, really. Jaime and Bronn in curtains and send them to Dorne. It's not Dorne. It's Sunspear. It just really drove me nuts. So I hope they go. I would love to see them go. I think the only one that, like Ian Trone just said, I hope they get a big check for ruining their careers from D&D. So, I mean, I think the only one who's going to have a career is the bad pussy girl. She might be the only one, any sort of charisma whatsoever. Those girls really needed an acting coach and an accent coach. If you can't,
I'm going to jump in and defend one of the actresses, and that's Obara Sand. In Canada, she was on like a 90s like hit show, and I knew the actress instantly. I knew she could deliver those lines. It was just the writing and the showrunner's fault for not executing their scenes properly. Like, it was all D&D to me. Like, that screwed it up, because for me, Obara should have been able to do everything right in those scenes. Like, the fighting could have been better. They didn't have a lot of time. Like, to me, you should have built a set instead. You shouldn't have chosen such a historical location and been forced to film in a couple days. Like, it just seems silly to me. And then build these contraptions to get the filming done right. Like, you could have done that in a stage room in Spain and then just had at it, right? Like, it would still take the same amount of manpower. It still would have included all the crew. It would just add to you would have added more detail that way too, right? Like, you would have been able to build this nice water gardens, right? Or done everything. And then as for the information, you also have Daenerys was the reason for the water gardens, why the slaves came and they mingled with the highborn and all that stuff. Right. So for me, in order to get that backstory, would have emphasized Dany at this point, like almost like history repeating itself, like again in this story, right? Like in the show. So it would have been nice to have that tangible essence to it, right? Whatever.
I think you're right. I think the writing was bad because, you know, even the bad pussy girl had the only good line and she delivered it well, and I like her. And I didn't know that Obara was on my least favorite of all, but I always, you know, I'm an actress myself, so when I see actors doing a bad job, but when I know that they look like they can do a good job, it's the writing. It's always the writing. So yeah, we know who left the writer's room, so that's why. Yeah, so anyway, enough bashing D&D, I guess, right?
I'm not finished.
I don't think I'll ever be finished.
For me, I loved Nymeria Sand in the book. I found her to be the most formidable out of all of them, like even Obara. So for me, it was just they gave her a whip. Why would you give her a whip? Like,
no. And she's Nymeria. I mean, it's such a cool character. I know. Yeah.
And when you're talking about this introduction to them, you're technically talking that Taina, I think that's her name, how you pronounce it, the poison sand snake. She got sent to King's Land.
Ilaria?
No. The poison one, the one that says bad pussy.
Oh yeah.
Ilaria's dog herself, isn't it?
I can't think of her name. The Tyene.
Yeah, Tyene Sand.
Yeah.
in the book, she gets sent to King's Landing to go spy on the Faith of the Seven because she looks so holy, right? Like she has like that veil and that nice, like, she basically is kind of like Sansa except for the South, right? And she gets sent to King's Landing to kind of infiltrate the Faith of the Seven during the High Sparrow and all this stuff. So for me, if you would have started the story off in season 4 or 3, wherever Myrcella gets sent off, for Taina Sand to be there and to be executed during the whole blow up thing would have made Dorne all the more reason to be more upset. You feel me? Like I feel like Dorne doesn't really have a reason to be upset right now. Like you're getting upset for Oberyn sacrificing himself. That's what you're upset about. And then for Ellaria, I can understand the whole mountain beef, but like you don't really have anything concrete in that moment to heat your people up to be like, I'm pissed off. So
True.
It just seems empty. Like the motivations and intentions, like I'm just disappointed.
Well,
the
worst thing
you totally missed out on the Sphinx. I mean, completely. And the whole old castle and the Citadel thing with her. And I mean, that's an excellent storyline as far as I was concerned, because it's going to tie into Samwell at some point. I mean, it's got to, doesn't it?
Well, if I could jump in real quick about that, I think that see that, and I think it's going to be Gilly, Sir Alessandro, so that she can get into the Citadel with Sam. Just a thought.
But
maybe Marwyn will find something to get the baby.
I don't know.
She can dress up as a
disguise. Boy. Yeah.
Just like Sorella Sam does. That was my thought, and that's why I thought maybe we didn't see them in the trailer, was because maybe they didn't want to give away the fact that Gilly is dressed as a boy going into the Citadel. But I could be wrong.
That's possible. That's very possible. Well,
I think if Archmaester Marwyn finds out who that baby is, take the baby and say, I know what to do. I'll watch this baby.
Yeah.
Or the High Towers.
Agreed.
That's frightening for that child, though, in and of itself.
Yep.
With Marwyn taking care of it. Let's go on to the next thing. Let's see what we got here. We got the throne room. Jaime's aggravated. Cersei is, and Tyrion. I mean, she would say that we're the only Lannisters who count, and then show a picture of Tyrion, you know? My goodness. And then we get the dragons, and they are big. Now this is Dragonstone. Anybody disagree with that? This is Dragonstone. And this is evidently...
I can't see it. So.
Can you not see it?
I can't.
This one's
the one where Tyrion standing on the...
All right, here, this is her, yeah. And you see you got all of her companions. But she looks so... Look at that face. I mean, she did a good job there. She's got that look of, I'm home. You know, it's taken so long to get here. And I'm finally here, you know? So do you want to step in on that one?
Actually. Really loved that. Just really quick, I'll say I loved that part. That actually, I'm not a big fan of Emilia Clarke and the way she plays Daenerys, but seeing that, it was like, it almost made me cry. It was perfect. Yeah. She came home, and the first touch of the ground, and it's just beautiful, really.
Yeah, she nailed that. She nailed it. She's coming right back where the original Targaryen conqueror came, Aegon the Conqueror and his 2 sister wives, you know, and right to the ancestral home, and right on to Westeros, as we all know after that. So, yeah, she did it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how to show it on the. I wish I did. Eli's saying we can screen share it on the computer, and I know we can. I just don't know how, and I'm not running it. I don't know if Nan.
I don't know how either, Eli. I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. Give us a call out to everybody out there when we stop here.
Figure it out.
Well, you know, I'm an old woman. I have to do the best I can with what I got. And this is what I got. So, I'm sorry. We'll try to figure that out by the next time, y'all. All right. This is the throne room. Daenerys sitting on the Targaryen throne. And then her talking about, did you see that? Oh, okay. I missed it. I didn't stop it. Go ahead.
I'll jump in. I missed a few scenes. Okay, Tyrion and the dragons. This is, you're talking about you have so little episodes, and you're talking about half the scenes have been people just standing around doing nothing and like feeling the ground. Like I'm sorry, I understand it's more sentimental and stuff like that, but you're a queen. You're not really even supposed to be touching the ground. It's sort of beneath you. Like, if you're gonna act the queen, like,
be a queen with all those titles.
So I can understand the sentiment of her being home, but I feel like if she was in her bedroom.
You're breaking up there, Steffi.
Am I? How about now?
There.
Man, if you hit the screen share button, man, whatever is on your screen will be shared with all of them, all the chat. So if you have your screen, the green screen share button on the left,
let me see if
it
I
should
can
play.
Do that.
You sure you don't have any porn open on?
No, I don't have to worry about that. Okay.
Yeah, that's true, Biotic. There was a guy, a Lannister soldier, down at the front of to be Casterly Rock. When those come in, I know we're on Tyrion, standing on it seems to be Casterly Rock with the L over the entrance and the two lions on either side. The Unsullied are rushing in, and there looks like a soldier, maybe a gatekeeper, laying on the ground. So maybe it was a gatekeeper, is what I thought. Took him out right when they came in, or with the, I don't know. So yeah. Grey Worm sneak attack, yeah.
I'm gonna jump in again a little bit. Dany's throne room is utter badass. Like, whoever built that set, they should get like everything for the rest of their life. Like, that was such an amazing scene. Like, visually, it was so appealing. Like, it looked like a giant pyramid behind her, right? Like, made out of obsidian. That's what it looked like. Like, it feels like if the White Walkers were trying to walk into that room and sit on that throne, they were gonna die. Right? Like, that's how awesome it looked. Like, complete stud. As for the Lannister and the Unsullied and them attacking, I don't think that was Casterly Rock. I feel like Casterly Rock, like the way it's depicted in the book, it's so enchanting. That scene didn't look enchanting, like, at all. It looked like Flea Bottom in King's Landing. It looked like the grunt end of a city or of Lannisport. So when you say
if it was a different entrance of King's Landing we haven't seen, or if it was Lannisport.
Yeah, for me, if it's Lannisport, it makes sense for the guard to be shot when they're like on the boat or something, and for him to fall down from like a watchtower, and then for them to like rush in and then attack. And it kind of goes with the whole when they're fighting in the bridge, because you're talking about if there are waterways there, kind of like Italy. For some reason, every time I think of Casterly Rock, like Lannisport in that region, I think of like Italy, right, of France, right, and all the little streams going everywhere, and kind of like Bravos in that way, like where that's how they travel a little bit, right? They have like all these little nooks and crannies everywhere. That's just my imagination, though. So that's how I feel about it. But if it is Casterly Rock, I'm very disappointed in the way it looks. The paint doesn't look great. It looks like an apprentice did it. Jimmy, let's call him Jimmy. Jimmy, you screwed up in my book. So that's Casterly Rock.
Rips out of it, the poor guy. I just thought that it might be because of the leaked photos that we saw. I don't even know how long ago that they might have Casterly Rock. And I agree, if it is Casterly Rock, it's a bummer. It's not what
maybe Tywin had pawned everything. You know, he was getting broke.
But if you're talking about Duskendale and Aerys, you're talking about Tywin Lannister was that type of person to give off that appeal, like he owned everything. Like that's how I viewed him, right? Like he owned the world. So I fully expect kind of like Wyman Manderley. You know how they have that like the merman, right? And he's kind of holding the thing in the center of their like little town and stuff like that. I pictured that, except with a lion and it being made out of complete gold, right? And there's like gold shooting out of the fountains, like liquid gold and stuff. Like that's what I like. If you're gonna give off the appeal of you being filthy rich, you better do it right. Like not with faded paint and like worn down castles and watchtowers and stuff like that. For me, that seems more like a port of some kind. Just
it may not be Casterly Rock. It may be Lannisport. And even so, you still got, you know, painted on dragons and all that. We got one thing we missed on the TV doing it this way we can see is the ship. Did y'all see that? I don't know if it's the Silence or if it's one of the Yara's, but it's pretty awesome looking. And there's that spear.
The lighting was really bad for that. I kept trying to rewatch it and like change the settings on my computer to see because there is a sigil there. You kind of see that it flash in the sail. It looks like a kraken, right? But I don't know.
When you take it, lighten it up, you can see the kraken. I have seen it. So I think that's at 11. Yeah. Well, thank y'all for teaching me how to do this screen share on this thing. I didn't know I could do it live. And here we go. Last of the Lannisters, and there is Tyrion. And here we are back on Dragonstone again.
David just pointed out something kind of cool. He said that the first episode's going to be 70 minutes. I thought it was 58, but it might.
I did too.
It's really cool. Glad because they need to give us so.
Yes, they should.
They really do.
And now I don't know if y'all saw that before we go to any further. Might have to go back. But the Dothraki, the Unsullied, this is really starting to see them actually do something. I mean, the one in Marine, they didn't show them as they should be, I thought. Lighten it up. Now, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. And now we're at the King of the North.
I'm not seeing anything. You guys are.
I am. I'm okay.
Don't let me mess.
Are we on the?
We're on the north part.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Oh,
know
with the
table. And John, it looks like it's from the last, where it's the King of the North, but it's not, because if you look closer, you can see that girl has red hair, with long red hair that they had thought that was Sansa's body double. And I believe part is going to be Alice Karstark. And then there's the little boy that they did. I believe he is going to be the one of the Umber kids. Anybody want to weigh in on that?
I find this scene pretty. I don't know what's going on here. Like, you already told your people that something's coming. Shouldn't you tell them to go home, gather their troops, and return? Like, I hope there's a bunch of troops in Winterfell right now. Because if there's not, like, why are they all standing around doing nothing? In my books. Like, you only have X amount of episodes. Like, what are you doing? Like, what is he announcing? That he's going to make lemon cakes for Sansa? Like, I don't know.
Well, Littlefinger's in his corner over there still. And you got the little boy, you got Tormund, you got Sansa and Davos at the front. And this is Brienne is already back. There's her blonde head up there, too.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought up Aaron, too.
Yeah.
The what?
Like, the problem I have. There's a lot of, like, this video I found. Like, if Peter Baelish got Ron and Aaron to take the Vale troops to the north to fight Ramsay, you think they would all be there? You think you wouldn't even show that area? Like, who's controlling that area right now?
Well, this sounds
was to say. Hold on, Cynthia. I don't know if someone has our stream open, and it's like it's repeating itself, like from the very beginning.
I don't have it. Hold on, let me see if there's another one. No, it's all muted. You know what it is? No, I've got the screen share muted too, the one on screen share. Oh Lord, what did I do? I'm gonna have to stop this screen sharing, y'all, till I figure out what I'm doing. I'll come back to it because it's messing up your audio or something there. But we had gotten to the room at Winterfell. So go ahead, I can hear you now. I'll bring it back in a minute.
Ash, you got anything?
What were you saying, Steffi?
Oh, I find that scene weird. Like, there was kind of no point to it. Like I really hope, like I said, like, what are you announcing, that you're making lemon cakes for Sansa? Like, I don't get why they're all gathered again. Like the next time you should see these people, these lords and in the north, like, is when their armies are gathered to go and defend the wall. Like, that's the only reason why they would be there again. To me, it's just, why are you still there? Like, did you spend a night? Like, is it that bad outside that you're now stuck at Winterfell? Like, to me, it seems very ridiculous. Like, something good better happen in that scene. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Now, which scene is this? Because I can't see the picture. Are we talking about Arya?
Winterfell.
Oh, okay. With everybody sitting in the room together, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder if Arya is gonna show back up, and that's why they're all there. Not that they know she's gonna show up, but that's why they put them all there. I don't know. It is. You're right, Steph. It's kind of like a weird repeat. Sansa, the same people. So I'm saying I have to go to the north. You stay here, trying to figure all that out.
I don't know. I think it's after. That's why I'm saying about the timelines being different in some POVs from the others, because to me this seemed like it can't be too long after the Battle of the Bastards, because you still have the congregation of Northerners there, and I think it's that they've been. Crows have been sent out telling everybody, that there's a new king of the north. Come do your allegiance to the king of the north. And then you're going to get, especially the Alice Karstark and whatever happens to the last Hearth and Umbers. So I'm hoping that they have sent Glover and some of the others, Manderley and some of the ones with the bigger armies, at least sent some of them to the wall. I mean, that should have been one of John's first priorities, in my thinking, was to send somebody to the wall. Anybody?
That John should have sent somebody to the wall?
Yeah, John should have.
Yeah. I think I see Tormund in the back of that room, but
Yeah.
Tormund. I'm trying to think of how it would. Now we're so past the books in that area that there's no way for me to try to figure it out by the books, except for the fact that maybe it's something like Mance goes down to Winterfell. I don't know. I think it's all D&D at that point with all that stuff. So I really don't know. I feel like it's making a big statement that he really is he's Ned's son, and that's all I see. I see the same reunion that I saw before.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump in there and criticize a little bit more. Also, you're talking. If I hope you can hear me, Jack, in the chat. I'm sorry, my computer's a little messed up. But with this scene, also, if there is, like, let's say if all these people believe that there is an army of basically like undead, technically, like, gonna walk up on you and kill you all, why would you have all the lords gathered in one place? Like, to me, that it just seems not logical. Like why would you do that? Who's going to be in charge if the White Walkers end up attacking just that location? You're all screwed after that. No one knows anything. Like, you didn't send out words. You did absolutely nothing. Right? It's the staying, like, the just staying around in Winterfell. It serves no point to me. Like, go get your men.
Yeah.
right? You're talking about the walls also, like Old Nan said, the wall's completely done, right? You're talking about Hardhome. They sent all their men there. The wildlings, like they all died during the Bolton attack and all that stuff, or the Battle of the Bastards. To me, the wall only has like what 50 people right now. Like Ed is basically commanding no one. He's commanding no one. Like
Yeah, Ed's there with a few people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about them going to the wall to get a white to try and bring it down to prove to Daenerys or someone that there's whites. That's why they're making that ranging beyond the wall. I just don't. That sounds a little weird to me. That Daenerys would say, "Go get me a white then and show it to me." That's just kind of odd. I mean, maybe they're trying to plan how to get Winterfell back into what it was during the times of Major War and Long Night, where Winterfell is the stronghold. They need food. So they do need to figure out how to get food stored there. Figure out, yeah, they need to call the banners. They need to tell everybody else what's going on. And they can't just call banners. I mean, they have to kind of go explain everything in detail. So that's going to have to happen off camera.
Yeah. A lot of stuff is going to have to happen off camera.
Or just,
like
yeah,
you know, I mean,
with
as
Raven.
far as one of the first things they should have done was to fix that greenhouse. I mean, that may be what sustains the castle people during the winter. And as far as them going to their homes and everything, Steffi, I think that there's I've always thought of Winterfell as kind of more or less a sanctuary from the walkers. I don't know if it's just me that I mean, if Bran the Builder built it at the end of the last long night, then it's goes without saying to me that it's warded. Now, whether Bran comes back and that's all messed up or not, I don't know. But the castle sending people to Castle Black should have been first. Go back, call the bannermen, tell them to make ready their places. Wintertown starts filling up. I mean, it's probably already filling up. So you're going to have a lot of the northern nobles coming to Winterfell to spend out most of the winter anyway, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to that, I didn't get that vibe. I kind of thought like every region sort of like that. They take care of their own. I don't think Winterfell is even able to hold that much. Like you're talking when Robert's entourage came, they didn't have enough room to house them. Never mind Wintertown and Winterfell housing the entire north in that region. Like to me, the only possible reason for that entire scene is him saying, "I'm gonna go visit Dany, who's messing shit up in the south," and that's that. But to me, you send out ravens for that. Like, there's no reason for all the lords to be there, or all the bannermen to be called in that location alone, unless it's gonna go to being attacking the White Walkers. Like for me, it's realistically, like war isn't done like that. You don't leak your only place of sanctuary out. You don't gather everyone up and hope for the best. Like you're talking about these people just like last season, they just broke down the one place that they couldn't enter just by cracking the earth. You know what I mean? Like why can't they do that with Winterfell? Like you know what I mean? Like, especially with the crypts of Winterfell and them being collapsed. Like, for all we know, that could have been them from way back when. Right? So,
the 13th Lord Commander.
Yeah.
The 13th Lord Commander, Steffi.
Yeah, so it just doesn't make sense, like, realistically. Like, you wouldn't do that in real life. You shouldn't be doing that in a fictional show either. in my books, just
True.
personally.
So
I
when we look,
go ahead, Ash.
I was just quickly going to say, I'm sorry, it's off topic. So why don't you go ahead, because you're probably going to what Stephanie was talking about.
Well, just you know, just basically what we already said. I think that the ravens have been sent already, and I would hope that those that can't make it to Winterfell, they're going to have to, like Old Nan, they're going to die in their castles the same as in their pigsties. So, and that in itself is part of the rebalancing of the earth. Some of these people are going to have to be wiped out before the new can be brought out, and that's just a part of, I think, of this cycle that's going on with them.
Most definitely. I think most people are going to die. Just left. I mean, that's usually, it's one of those things where we talk about Armageddons and ends of the worlds and stuff like that, but really, said before, all it is a cyclical cycle. And in this books, I don't know if it really has so much to do with the show, but as far as the Night's King, just the fact that time was when Christianity came in and took over the mystical religions and moved from lunar goddesses to solar deities. And so the whole of the sun going away and Armageddon, because it's dark, just is kind of lack of knowledge of the world. And the auxiliary spheres, whatever they are called in the Citadel, will capture the seasons. They tell you what time of year it is. They can help you navigate at sea and stuff like that. But I don't know that if it's something like they don't realize how winters can come early, or that are just that Christianity comes in, or the faith of the seven comes in, all these superstitions come with it. So winter seems to have become one of the biggest superstitions, even though only the Sea continent knows come with it. So the rest of them are just scared of darkness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to really say about that. I wanted to go back really quick to the place where Tyrion's standing on the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
That look on his face did not look like he was happy. It looked like he was kind of sad when the dragon came up. I wonder if maybe he was looking over at Lannisport or at Casterly Rock and watching it. And even though family, it still has to be hard to watch that happen. As he's there. So I don't know. That was just a thought that ran through my head. I don't know where he is actually.
That's what I was going to say. Or do we know that Jaime's there? Because, trailers, we've got all kinds of theories and speculations and spoilers and everything out there. Steffi, you want to step in?
Yeah, I think we brought up food earlier. I think we said the glass gardens, but you're also talking the Vale's been hoarding a lot of food too. So I feel like that kind of balances it out, but it's not enough for winter for what's coming. It's just not.
No. maybe the Manderleys can help with that.
Also,
Well,
I
that's a thought.
just want to explain myself a little further on why it doesn't make sense that they're gathering. For me, the theory is of House Towers owning Mokalan and that region, and how, for me, it was more formidable from both regions. You're talking about from the north, it was formidable, but from the south, it's more so, just because of the amount of, like, they're just trying to separate themselves from that region. But for me, I think the best way to, like if you were to try to capture a white or to do any of that stuff, it doesn't make sense. If a bunch of people were starting to flee, like a bunch of refugees started coming down and saying, oh, there's whites, like, we don't know what to do, save us, save us, I think that would be more validation than you going up to a person and being like, hey, there's something weird going on up north. Like, just one person, like, aside from like 100,000 people coming, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many people are in the north, but like a lot of people are. So I think that would be more validation of proof that something is coming and we need to deal with it urgently, than having the time to just send a raven or to send one person or like a little envoy to like one individual. Like, it seems unrealistic to me. Like, if you're in dire need of savings, and fleeing might be an option. So I don't know.
Yeah, true.
Well, fleeing is an option too, but you've got other places that Bran the Builder built too. What was it? Casterly Rock was one of them. Wasn't the Vale one of them? Was it one of them?
No, Storm's End and
Storm's End
and the Wall,
not
and maybe
yeah, Storm's End. But there are going to be sanctuary places, I'm thinking, from that Bran the Builder has put in long ago for this. Go ahead.
You lose, Nan?
Yeah, I'm through. And Hightower, yeah. Thank you, Steffie. Winterfell, Storm's End, and Hightower. You want to go on a little bit, ladies, or let's see what we got next. And I'm sorry about having to do it on TV. We had Littlefinger whispering in Sansa's ear, like everybody knows that's gonna happen. So, but we get a shot of the gate opening at the Castle Black, and that could be several things, but I'm thinking it may be Bran coming back. Does anybody else think any different or want to step in on that?
I agree. I think that's the only reason why you wouldn't show Bran in this entire thing. You would show the gate opening.
I agree.
Because Ed would obviously know, why, he would obviously get word from Jon to allow any wildlings in, right? So even if Bran was undistinguishable from that sort of viewpoint, he would still let them in to save them.
Agree.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be cool to see that, actually.
Oh yeah, and we'll talk about the people that are left out in a little bit, but you're right. They did not show Bran and Mira in this trailer at all. There's some other distinct and noticeable differences. Missing people here. We got Theon, and this is the sea battle, I do believe. With Euron and all that.
Yeah.
So, anybody got something to say about that?
I just think that it looks like he's on a burning boat, with the boat that people are coming on and off of.
Yeah.
Looks like either look on his face, that Theon look, like something's wrong and he's got to save somebody, and then we see the people jumping into the water. So I'm wondering if he's saving someone at that moment and he's in that. I'm also wondering if somebody's going to take the role later, but I'll just say it really quick. If somebody's going to have the fight, sort of like the one that Victarion and he had, which was one of my favorite things in the book, where they have that wonderful, and he nicks Victarion's arm, and Makoro has to do his spells on it. So, and it's a lot like what Mirri Maz Duur did. So I'm wondering if that's the arm that's sticking out of the thing, and it's someone who might have gotten by a magical sword on that boat. Maybe it's Theon. I don't know. I don't think it's Theon.
That's a stellar idea. Yeah, that would make sense. Where, especially since Melisandre is at Dragonstone with Dany. I think we passed that part. Yeah, and it would make sense for her to take on Makoro's role in that aspect, especially if Jorah is somehow gonna go back to Dany and be like, "I didn't find a cure. I'm so sorry," and then Melisandre's gonna be like, "Wait, I got you," right? And then do the whole hand thing. Yeah. That would be pretty awesome.
Love to see that. Yeah.
As for the scene, it comes across like I really hate this video, and I sort of do. The trailer isn't very good with me. Okay, you're talking about when Yara or Asha first meets Theon, right? Aside from the whole incest-esque thing, when their story starts to develop, she's like, "You shouldn't be sailing like a boat or a fleet. You're not worthy of this." So, to me, to put Theon on a boat, it doesn't make a lot of sense. He has no captain abilities. He has every kind of endeavor that he's done with any sort of group has epically failed. Why would you send him on this? Like, to me, you would be better off sending Grey Worm on this sort of endeavor than you would be with Theon, especially since Theon and Yara / Asha just got backhanded by their uncle. It seems pretty ridiculous that Theon would even be on a boat, to me. I feel like he would be better served in another location doing another deed, possibly even traveling to certain areas, other areas, Dorne maybe, or to Highgarden, and maybe securing that location. Maybe going back to the north and talking to Sansa and Peter Baelish, and maybe Sansa saying thank you for rescuing her and all that stuff. Like, I feel like Theon shouldn't be on the boat. He shouldn't. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why is he on the boat? Just,
I know, I can see what you mean. Yeah. I think that with Euron saying, "Let's go kill my niece and nephew," in his silly crown. Yeah, sorry. It does seem like we hate Game of Thrones. But yeah, it is like why do we need Theon on a boat? Maybe he's with, I mean, you do see on those leaked pictures, I don't want to give anything away for people, but we do see something that I think probably a lot of people have seen is Jon choking him out. So it's almost like they're all together, and maybe Theon is just with them, and he's with Gendry making a sword, breaking down Brienne's sword. I don't know.
I think it's
something.
I think he's on that sea battle myself, y'all. You know.
Yeah. Probably the most likely option, but I agree with Steffi. Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I think.
sorry. Yeah.
Go for it.
I agree with what you're saying about the whole endeavor of getting Gendry back. I feel like that kid's probably Popeyes at this point. He's probably got like he probably can't even put his forearms beside his body and stuff. But yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't really think of Gendry too much just because they kind of ditched him on a boat.
Right.
I keep thinking of the Long Island's, that like little rap group or whatever, and I'm a boat. Yeah. So that song pops into my head every time I think of Gendry, so I try not to think of him a little bit.
You're hilarious, Stevie.
Well,
I wonder if. Go ahead.
They
Nan.
included his story with the other bastard, Stone, the one from Stormlands, Edric Stone.
Edric Storm.
Edric Storm.
Storm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing on that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why they'll do. I think that's why they'll put Gendry in there and mix him with Edric Storm so that he's the Baratheon heir.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, like, I want to see Gendry making some swords, like, you know, doing his thing. And I also think that, you know, give what Tobel Mott taught him, the secrets of reforging Valyrian steel. He could give those secrets to someone else, and because he's sort of the rebirth of Thor with Robert Baratheon dying and being his father. So
Yeah.
he's got his Warhammer, and two, interestingly enough, that controls Duskendale now, or is it Duskendale? Who crossed Warhammers as their sigil. Was that house?
Steffi?
Extra.
I don't know. I don't know. Chat. Maybe some of them know.
Oh, it would be beautiful if Widowsville and Oathkeeper were reforged together and given to Jon. Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Just said, wouldn't it be beautiful if Widowsville and Oathkeeper were reforged and given back to Jon? Because they're ice.
Yeah.
It's House Rhaegar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting that they showed that, and then that's the house that's there, and they have crossed Warhammers. But Jeremy Rhaegar was the one who got killed by a white. So, and they were, I don't know if the Rikers really, I guess they're Lannister supporters, so maybe they're Lannister supporters. I thought they were Targaryen, the Darklands were Targaryen supporters, but the Rikers are people. So maybe they'll have that taken away from them.
Yeah, they're the Lords of Duskendale currently. That's what it says here, and they're in the Crown Lands. Current Lord is Edward Rhaegar.
Right. So they should maybe, you know, how everyone gets their lands taken away when they're loyal to a house that falls. Maybe that will happen and someone will get Duskendale.
Well, has it been basically not been held permanently by anyone since Duskendale? I mean, Robert surely gave it to somebody after he took over. I mean, you're talking about them folks, but are they permanently in on it?
House Rhaegar?
Yeah. Are they permanently?
Yeah.
Is Duskendale their permanent home now?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I remember.
Well, the next
was
thing we
given.
got is. Go ahead, huh?
Let's move on.
We got Melisandre at Dragonstone. That's my take on it. Oh, that shows her, and then she's looking down the stairway of Dragonstone. So.
Right. Watching
Yeah.
everybody walk in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an instant.
Sorry, Ashley.
Go ahead.
No, that's okay. I just had an instant reaction to that one, but go ahead.
No. We keep cutting you off. I feel so bad. Okay, go.
You guys are so wonderful. I just had an instant reaction to it. I know she always has that sad look on her face. That's kind of her token look when she's left out or pondering something. But that lady looked like she wanted to jump off the cliff to me. And I thought, oh my God, she's going to jump. Hey, And then I actually heard Tony Teflon say the same thing. Well, cool. It's not just me. So I wonder if there's some... Because the Shara Dane was supposed to have jumped from the tower, right? And George made the blue Melisandre doll. There's a way that Melisandre, and then she dies and becomes the blue Melisandre. But I don't know why she's standing up there, like Steffie. I've heard a lot of different standing up there, but I thought
it also brings up your point. That's like fantastic. I didn't even think that. When it comes to Dragonstone, they have dragon glass too. So if the first White Walker got dragon glass shoved into their heart, if she's on Dragonstone, that's probably like one of the most likely places for that to happen. So definitely could see that happening.
That's true. And in the books at the moment, they're mining obsidian on Dragonstone for Stannis. So yeah.
And Jon
are all there. And with Gendry. That's maybe what Theon's doing in all that fire. Yeah.
I did notice, y'all, when it was Littlefinger or at the end saying you're the last hope for the war to come or whatever, what is to come, it flashed to Theon and then to Melisandre. So that's brought me back to that blue Melisandre, that we keep talking about, that George, like you were saying. But I thought that was kind of weird because you don't think of Theon, but he's certainly made it longer than anyone would have thought he would have made it, I'm sure. But it just seemed kind of funny that they flashed to her and him when it got to that point.
Yeah. I mean, by this time, I think that is almost like a Stark. He's more of a Stark than he is an Ironborn anymore, I think he feels so guilty about everything that he's done, and he's so a part of everything. I mean, he is the heir to the Iron Islands, and he just got slayed by Balon. That it's almost like he needs to be part of the group, and he's always going to be the Gollum. But I think he's got a lot more to do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Steffie.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the people walking a little bit, which I found a little weird. I can understand Melisandre being sad if Jon's possibly there. I think that's the only reason for her to be excluded is the fact that Davos is there. Tyrion's obviously the shorter one. But there was a person walking in front and they acted like they had a limp. And for me, that's very weird because I don't remember anyone in the show having a limp.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if they add someone to the cast and that's that person. but the person's literally like hobbling. It's weird, like the movement of this individual at the very front. So if it is Grey Worm, it doesn't seem like Grey Worm. Grey Worm's a lot skinnier than this person. This person's massive. Like this person's like a big person, and he's like limping.
Right.
I can't believe I'm acting it out, but it just seems weird. Like maybe, like it could possibly be Marwan the Mage. Like if you're talking about the Mastiff, and he's big. He's also an older fella, so it could be him.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
it would.
can see that. Just
I'd
throwing
love
out
that.
Good catch, Steffi, because I didn't see that. I really didn't. And I stopped it several times and re-looked at it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought
It
maybe
would.
it was just someone we didn't know. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got somebody above the wall here. Anybody want to
Yeah.
chime in on that one?
Yeah, I think the circle of men.
They're coming out of the wall. Yeah, the circle of men.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's where it's leading to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about, except for, that silly theory that I heard about them going to get a white. But, it could be that they're going to talk to Bran might have come through and said, something that they need to do. They could be. I really don't. I mean, really, all I see is that they're fighting the others, and I don't know why they would just go up there just unless they really are going to bring something back. But I don't see that. I think they're trying to give them an offering or something. I don't know.
I'll jump in, I guess. I have no idea what they're doing. You're talking about a small group couldn't infiltrate Winterfell, couldn't climb over the walls despite living there. You couldn't utilize the wildlings that could have climbed over the Winterfell walls, and you lost people. That's whatever. That's another issue that I have with the show. Theon can clearly do it, but Jon can't. Like, it just seems ridiculous. Anyways, if anything, if I were gonna, Ed probably saw Bran beyond the wall. He's going somewhere, or like we said, that the gate was opening and Bran could have been there, told Ed something, said, "I need to do this, and I'll be right back." And then he sends word to Jon, and Jon's like, "Oh shit! Like, I gotta go get him," right? But then obviously,
yeah.
Could be. Next, we got Arya.
I like that. Arya. Where you see her cold breath, so she's up further north.
Yeah. Oh, we got. Oh, I went too far back. Just y'all go ahead.
Like somebody's watching her, like either out of a tree or something, out of a window, out of a tree, because it looks like there's a
my take,
like a distorted.
My take is Nymeria watching her.
Maybe that would be. I was wondering that when Nymeria would show up.
Yeah,
could be that
because
very easily.
From the angle, it looks like to me it's a low shot. Like where a wolf might be crouching down. So
yeah, and it does have a tinge of yellow or yellow in it. So. Cool. Yeah. I want Nymeria to show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a second and say it's the Ghost of High Heart. I don't think D&D are gonna spend the money on Nymeria. I think they basically killed off every direwolf on purpose just to save it for the dragons and for the wars and all that stuff, especially this season. I feel like if the ghost of Highheart comes up to her and spouts the prophecy of Sansa slaying a giant in Winterfell, it would also pay homage to the Melisandre and Arya meeting of killing someone with green eyes. I think if anyone's stalking Arya, it's not Nymeria. I feel like it's the Ghost of Highheart. Just my opinion.
I think it's Nymeria because, it's even George said you don't put a big old pack of direwolves in there without using them. So I think they're still having to tie in the loose ends. And some way I do believe that Nymeria, and I hope her wolf pack, are going to be in on the War for the Dawn.
It would be so cool if it wasn't Nymeria, but you might be right, Steffi, that they don't, whenever they use the dragons, and this time they're going to be enormous, that they don't show the dire wolves. They show Ghost for a split second, and that's about it. But I really, really hope that since they're taking it down to next to nothing, a season and a half left, that they'll show Nymeria. But it could be the Ghost of Highheart because those are yellow eyes too. So, or actually, no, she's got red eyes.
Green.
So it's because she did well, and it could be Melisandre glamored too. She did say they were going to meet again.
So she evidently didn't kill her because she made it to Dragonstone. I mean, she would have had to go through the Riverlands to get to Dragonstone, and that would have been where Arya possibly could have met her again. So if she's gone past the Riverlands all the way to Dragonstone, unless she took a boat, she's safe for a while.
Yeah, she would have had to cross quite a ways. Go ahead, Steph. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you.
I stepped first. I have big feet. Sorry.
Too cute.
Also, my jokes are so small and so corny. It's not even funny.
You're just so damn cute. I love you.
Okay, so another option for this person, I was thinking about it. They have to throw the Hound back in there somehow too. Could be the Hound watching her. The Hound obviously has to meet up with Sansa. I think it'd be pretty dense for him to not. And I also, first I wanted Clegane Bowl to happen. Now I don't. I feel like there's other ways to kill off the Mountain. Jaime could kill off the Mountain. I think that's a good choice. With his one hand, the gold hand, that would be pretty awesome. Like a punch through or something like that.
Yep.
For sure. That would be very interesting. I don't think the Hound necessarily has to be in King's Landing or associated with that whole crew. I think he's better served north. So, and it also rehash that whole thing in her list of vengeance, right? That's why I think it's the Ghost of Highheart too. Like it's per priorities. The lone wolf doesn't survive. The pack does. Right.
Right.
More reason.
Yeah, I do think that Arya is the lone wolf, and that when winter is over with, they'll find Needle in her hand, and all of that.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope that line doesn't come
either.
true.
I mean, they put stuff in there to throw you off sometimes, but it's so much foreshadowing that she's gonna die. I mean, it's just, unless they're doing it strictly to, like I said, throw us off, everybody can assume that Arya's dying,
What's interesting, just popped into my head, is that in Celtic mythology, Ireland itself was called Aria or Irie. The Erie spelled. It was also called Ari. Names that she's been called is what Ireland was called. And so I kind of associate the North with Ireland because there's so much similarities, the North and Beyond the Wall, so many similarities. So what I was thinking about that is that maybe that I just lost my train of thought, is that oh God, I hate that.
You're sounding like me there.
I
That's
know.
my
I'm
job
sorry.
to lose train of thought.
Gone. Sorry.
Okay. But we'll go on. We'll go on. They got the cold breath and the
what I was going to say.
back to back. Okay, go ahead.
Is that the Ireland thing and Arya and Needle and her being found in the snow, John's line about we'll find you under the snow, clutching Needle in your hands, is that if she did die and after, you know, because we know Arya is going to do pretty amazing things to help save the North, to save everyone. Arya is ruthless, and she also reminds me a lot of the Morrigan, is not the nicest goddess either. So, and she's a goddess of war. So a lot of her and a lot of the other that I've talked about a few times. So if she did die, it's like she's the soul of the North. And that's the only way I could feel like it would be a kind of a bittersweet ending for her, is that she would always be remembered, but she would die. So those are my
like
two
the
cents.
way you put that. I like the way you put that. She's the soul of the North because she does, you know, her and Lyanna both seemed to me like they had the, you know, as you said, the soul of the North.
Yeah.
Steffie?
Yeah, they both do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
What scene are we talking about?
Arya.
Talking about Arya.
You know, in case, because there's so much foreshadowing of her death. You know, I mean, it just seems so inevitable. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen because y'all know I like Arya. But what do you think, Steffi?
To me, I feel like the book, you can definitely see Arya's death. I don't think in the show they'll kill Arya. I think they've killed enough children in the show. Babies, Shireen.
I hope so.
I don't think D&D have the nads to do it. To be honest, I don't think so. They can't even get rid of Ilaria Sand. Like they're not going to get rid of Arya.
If they don't kill off the Craster's baby and one of the sand snakes, they're not going to kill Arya.
I know, right? Like,
true. You too, baby. I don't think that one of the two sisters will make it out of this season.
Yeah, I think so too. One of them won't make it.
Yeah. And like Plexi Bertrand just said, Arya is always compared to Lyanna and Ned, who died. I don't have high hopes for her surviving. That's true too. All that symbolism.
Mm-hmm. That's true. There's Littlefinger in the corner in the background, and you would almost miss some of this if you did not slow it down and pause it. I'm telling you, I had to relook this thing for I don't know how long. But
Which part is it?
The crypts of Winterfell. I do believe it's where he's sneaking at. It may be somewhere else in Winterfell, but I'm thinking it's the crypts of Winterfell because of what comes next later on. Now, I don't know why they threw the Dothraki in there when we got the Crypts of Winterfell, but what do y'all think about that? Littlefinger sneakiness.
So, yeah, that's the one where you see Littlefinger's face, and then you see the Dothraki.
Yeah.
That seems like Littlefinger in the crypts. It really does. It seems like he's creeping around down there, waiting for John down there to have a meeting, or called John down there to tell him something, or he's actually going to try and tell him who his parents are. I don't know. But whatever it is, John ends up trying to kill him. He does.
Right.
I really do.
Right.
But I don't think he will. In fact, I know he won't, because that's John. But all he's done to Sansa, John might kill him, but I think so. But all I just have to say is that the jumping that the Dothraki are doing on those horses, that choreography is, I love that. I think that's gorgeous. I can't wait to see the Dothraki in action. I think they're beautiful.
I guess it's my turn to jump in.
Doesn't
Sorry.
like the trailer.
First off, peeping Tom, like that's basically it. Like, what are you doing hiding, lurking behind the shadows? Like, like I don't understand that scene. It's a little creepy. Like Uncle Tom worthy creepy. As for the whole Pitire thing, I think they show it in the later scene that the conversation between John and Pitire. But I just find it like that. I feel like Arya has to be there for that. Like that's why, for me, like that's why I mentioned the Ghost of High Art, and then like for me, it all like keep me alive. I know your true history. Like it seems more eerie, like when you put it like that. Like for me, in the book, like Peter Baelish isn't supposed to be there, like at all. Right, so to me, that's the only reason why he would be there, is to explain it. He's supposed to be the Hallowed Reed. But I do get the sense of this Ghost of High Heart
Right.
being referenced to the book, of this weird person going up to Theon and being like you're still alive. Like that's weird. Like maybe there is someone in the crypts, and he ends up catching them. Like why are you in the crypts? Right, like maybe like a Howland Reed ends up to be mysteriously in the crypts, and he's talking to someone, maybe John or someone like that, and he overhears this, right, making
True.
him, and then further pitching to Sansa, you're the only heir out of your brothers and your father and whatever. So it would make sense. I feel like they need to add Howland in. Like it's about goddamn time. Like honestly.
Oh, they do.
So
I agree.
They did. Yeah.
As
Maybe the new High Septon or something, or maybe he's the guy. Yeah. I don't know, but he's got to enter the picture.
Yeah.
He's the one now.
But I think maybe Littlefinger followed John and somebody else down there to listen in on them, and got caught. To be honest with you, I think John caught him and pushed him up against the wall, just like Ned did.
Yeah, I had that thing too. Like if John is talking to anyone in the Crypts of Winterfell and it's supposed to be of importance, to me it would be Bran. I feel like that would be the one place Bran would maybe be carried to, and that's why he's maybe not in the scene. Maybe he's off to the side, sitting on the ground or something like that, or Mira just like left him down in there. That's the person he talked to, right? And then he's like, "What are you doing here?" Like, yeah, to get that anger going. Like you're not supposed to know he's alive, right?
It's a good repeat of Robert and Ned in the cells or in the crypts together. If he's talking to somebody important. and the Kings of Winter are listening and they're waking up or whatever they're doing.
Well, I bet.
If I'll just finish the thought real quick, is that seems like if there is an entity like an Anubis that's guarding the crypts, you know, so that the souls can't get out, which might be Lyanna, whatever it was that and didn't want to go down there that time, wasn't afraid. So maybe it's the thing that if Littlefinger says, you know, Lyanna's your mother, bad might happen. We have no idea. So it's like Plexi says, we have to just go with it because it's just off the rails. We have no idea. So I think looking back is probably the best way. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, though, that when it comes to Littlefinger and Sansa both being up at Winterfell, it kind of makes you wonder, you know, they're going to eventually have to get there in the book, aren't they? I mean, if they're in the show, they're in Winterfell at the last 2 seasons of the game, you know, the Game of Thrones TV show, then it seems to me like, you know, they're going to be there at the end. I don't know how. Maybe he brings the veil with Sansa up there, you know, for our battle at Winterfell, and that may be how Sansa comes to be there, you know, with him in the books.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The first, yeah, because the battle did happen the first long night at Winterfell. So maybe it will repeat like that.
Steffi?
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. You guys pretty much nailed it.
There's one more thing, just or T just reminded me of, is that Arya might tell Sansa that Littlefinger was making a deal with Tywin, Harrenhal, and so it might be that. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Actually, that just made me remind me of something too. Earlier we said that the rumor was that Jon and company go up beyond the wall to hunt for a white and to take it. But then, like, what was the point of Yoren doing that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you repeating yourself twice in the show? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. But also
True.
As for the Dothraki and them riding, let the circus begin, I guess. I feel like you already expect there to be so much action. I feel like they should have shown something else. Like, where's Sam and Gilly? Like, it could have been something else. Like, it could have been Sam holding the sword, or maybe walking to the Ravenry in the Citadel. That would have been amazing for me to visually see. Like, that would have been amazing. Like, I would pay money to see that. If someone has that, I would give you money for that scene. So, just...
Yeah, there was nothing from the Citadel at all, y'all. Nothing at all. Let's see what else we got. There's the battle scene at sea, Steffi. This is the probably Euron and Yara and the Dothrak. I mean the sand snakes. Go ahead.
Okay, actually, it is Euron, Asha, and Theon. You see them. If you look at your screen, they're at the middle bottom left, kind of. They're right at the bottom. There's 3 of them, and 2 of them are facing Euron. A little more left. Yes, there's 3 people there.
Yeah.
One of them is Yara, one of them is Theon, and then one of them is Euron. and they're all fighting each other at the same time. I've zoomed in on it. It's them.
Cool. I couldn't get that close.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, I looked
Good
hard
job.
throughout that scene. Because the shield that the guy had wasn't much to go on. Like, to me, like, it could have been anyone. So
Yeah,
Well,
that's
and
the sound.
the picture we saw before of the ship, I'm assuming it's the silence. You had to lighten up the screen in order to even see the Kraken on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking for a Kraken, but I imagined it was probably there.
It was.
What it was it? I just couldn't see it.
Yep.
I just want to know if you're gonna do Euron, because I think come down and try to make a marriage pact of some kind with Cersei once he realizes that Dany's now on her way up. So maybe instead of marrying Dany, he just goes right for Cersei. And, you know, if he does get to Cersei, then that's an evil pair together that'll give us a really good show. But yeah, I agree with you that they should have showed a few more regular scenes than just the battles, because we know this is the Winds of Winter and it's all battles. I almost wondered, like somebody was saying, maybe the Hound could, somebody in a chat room said that the Hound could outdo Littlefinger. Do you remember the Hound's connection to Littlefinger that would have exposed him to Littlefinger's plotting? Could be that the Hound gets, well, that's what I've always thought, is that the Hound is going to get Littlefinger because he loves Sansa. So what Littlefinger did to Sansa, that would be the end of Littlefinger. So, but will go straight to Cersei and ask, and that'll be enough to get Jaime pissed off enough to either kill her or leave. Hopefully he'll leave. I don't know that Cersei's gonna die this season. I really don't. I think that I'm the only one here right now, so I might be talking to myself, but luckily I'm talking to the chat. I agree, T. I think that it's going to be from Sansa's orders that Littlefinger dies. Hound or not, it's going to be at Sansa's command for sure. Cersei doesn't have any allies. No, she doesn't. And yeah, she doesn't. She's not Tywin, so no, she doesn't have any options. Once this army goes down by the Unsullied, she's done. So she needs Euron.
Yeah, she does.
And he's been, you know, made into the nicest guy in the world compared to who he is in the books. So Cersei could almost even outdo him in the evil department. He also has treasure, so.
So who is the new treasurer now? You got Mace dead. That's another place that's going to have to be filled. Qyburn can't do everything.
Oh yeah, the small council.
Yeah. A treasurer.
I wonder if she's even going to have one.
Mace was treasurer too. So he's dead now. He's the one she sent to Bravos.
Mace was in the Sept, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead.
There's no, I don't think, I just don't see her even making a small council. I see her kind of just.
What she wants to anyway. Why should she? I mean,
right.
But she's have to have somebody with enough sense to manage the money, I would think, wouldn't you?
good. She's not good with money at all, but she thinks she's great at everything. So who's left for her to put? Lannister's left. Go ahead, Steph.
Oh, it's Steph.
Okay, I think this would be a perfect time to maybe add in Arian Waters, since she clearly has all this money from somewhere to grab furs and give her army shields and whatever. Maybe he steals her fleet and possibly goes to Dany. That would be pretty awesome to see her get royally messed over like that. Maybe that's why she's mad in that other scene where this guy's like, he took the boats. He took the boats, Queen Cersei. And she's like,
he took my royal fleet. Yeah. I was gonna say Orain Waters, but I thought no, there's no way. But it just popped into my head that the gorgeous rock star guy that we've seen that might play Rhaegar, maybe he's Orain Waters. I love Orain Waters. I would be so happy if Orain Waters showed up. I just love Orain Waters.
Don't hold your breath on too many new characters showing up this year. It looks like they're trying to get rid of more of them every time we turn around.
Because for me, it makes sense in the books for Cersei to be with Euron, but in the perspective of Euron and him wanting to be king, it doesn't make sense. Like in the show perspective, I feel like there's too much to fill in gap wise. Like he can't just go walk up there and be like, "Hey, I want to be your king." Especially with Jaime around. What do you think Jaime's going to say to that? Like it seems a little weird for me. So I could see someone else. Sorry, Ashley. Stepping again.
Finish your thought.
No thought. Go.
I was just saying I didn't answer Plexi's question and say why Arya might, or why Sansa might order Littlefinger to kill, or the Hound to kill Littlefinger, is because of his sending the City Watch after Ned to meet with Littlefinger. That could be good thinking, Plexi, because really that could be it.
Do you think Arya found the cat's paw under the bed?
Yeah, I think they're gonna find that the cat's paw was Littlefinger. Even if it was Joffrey, I think it came from Littlefinger.
Okay. It's a big clue in something there. I mean, you never know. We got Davos up here.
Hold on, I want to jump in on the cat's paw for a second. I feel like the viewers probably won't remember. We would. We're book readers. I don't think. Hold on, let me ask my sister. Sandy, do you know what the cat's paw is? She's like, meow. She doesn't know what I'm talking about. So
yeah.
Go for it, Steffie.
Do you remember who tried to attack Bran? No, see. It completely goes over her head.
Yeah, it makes sense too, because it was seasons ago. Yeah.
Well,
Season 1, we're talking about like 6-7 years ago. Like, people aren't going to remember.
Explain it.
True. It could. Yeah, they could explain it and say that.
No, explain it. In Entertainment Weekly this past week, they put out the cover pages for their cover pages were several Stark people together, like a Stark reunion. You had Sansa and Jon, Bran and Arya. And you said we could talk about the ET Entertainment Weekly, Steffi, so I'm going for it. And Arya is wearing the cat's paw in those pictures. So that's why I was asking, you think she finds it when she's looking under the bed, if that's Littlefinger's room or what? Or where is the knife, the Valyrian steel? Because she has a Valyrian steel blade that was used by the cat's paw. Yes. Did I
just blew my mind.
mess up? Steffie, sorry.
That's
Catelyn
brilliant.
took that blade to King's Landing, though. I don't think Littlefinger would bring that with him. Because didn't he sell it at the tourney again? Didn't he bet on it? He betted on it with Tyrion, the blade, after, didn't he?
Before.
Yeah, before. My bad. Yeah, you could be right.
And Ned had it. And then
Right.
Littlefinger stuck a knife to his throat in the King's room. But it wasn't, I don't think that was the Valyrian one. But I just imagine that Littlefinger got it back. But it's a good thing. I'm glad to see Arya with a Valyrian steel blade.
Me too. I'd love to see her use it on Cersei, but no, the cat's paw. Time we see the knife is when he's holding it to when Littlefinger's holding it to Ned's throat, right?
I don't think it's the cat paw then. I think that's a regular blade.
No,
I think he just got it from Ned, after they imprisoned him.
Oh, you mean after Ned was in the black cells, it had it back already, I think. So how's that dagger then? That she could be listening to I thought she could be listening to somebody's conversation or looking under. I don't know what she would be looking under unless it was at Winterfell.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's at Winterfell and she's checking out Baelish's room. I don't know. That's just my take on it. Anybody else got something?
Okay. Aside from my sister being the general population of show watchers, I feel like it's not enough to go on. You're talking about Littlefinger in the book. He ends up burning their clothes, like that they ended up killing Eliza in, like, and stuff. He goes out of his way to get rid of any sort of evidence. For me, if he had this blade and he ended up carrying it with him outside of the brothel, and outside of the Red Keep and all this stuff to the Eyrie, I feel like the Eyrie and the Moon Door would be the obvious place to just toss it down, or to leave there for the winter, because they're not going to go back up for an entire season, which is a long season, and everyone's going to forget. There's too many ifs, and for me, if my sister doesn't remember, it's a done deal for me. They're not going to rehash it. If anything, she's looking for proof of some sort of note, a note that that involves the Boltons somehow with Sansa's marriage. That would be a good reason for Arya to kill Peter, or for the Hound to kill Peter, for him to say in writing that I sold the Stark girl to Roose Bolton. Like, it just, for me, she's looking for something a little more obvious, a little more recent than that.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion.
I agree with you.
I agree with you, because you may find that in the process, is what I'm saying. And she wouldn't have. She was in the room when Yoren came in and told Ned about her mother having Tyrion. Ned sent her out, and I know.
We talked about that.
So, she got out of King's Land. She went to the streets. It seems like she was not in the King's room when Baelish pulled the knife on our dad. Am I correct? I don't think she was. Her nor Sansa, neither one were there.
No, they weren't there.
So they wouldn't know about it. I mean, Catelyn took it away from there before, anyone found it. So
yeah, I think he still got it. I just don't know if it would be a very smart thing for him to do it somewhere or any of that. It's enough for Arya to hear that he is the reason why Ned was beheaded. It's plenty for Arya to want to kill him.
well, I think the Hound's going to take care of that. The Hound's going to come in, with Thoros and them, and he's going to, basically say, what is he doing here? He held a knife to your father's neck. He turned on your father. So that's just my thinking of it.
I brought this up earlier too. I think Arya is going to be the executioner if Peter Baelish is going to die. I think Melisandre saying you're going to kill someone with green eyes. I don't think that's going to be Cersei, or Jaime or either of them. She's going north. Cersei's probably most likely going to die by the end of the season or the very beginning of the next. I don't see her traveling. I don't see her with Jon at Dragonstone. I don't see Sansa leaving Winterfell when she's the next heir in line. Clearly, I feel it in my bones. It's going to be Arya.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do too. Sadly,
but I think that Arya, it's going to have to be something. You're going to eventually get the reunion. I think we're going to see a reunion. I don't think John's going to be there for it unless he comes back in time. But I think we're going to get Bran, Sansa, and Arya reunion anyway. And then if, like you said, the Hound shows up there, hey, that's confirmation for anybody, And they know the Hound, both Arya and Sansa. So they know that he's not going to lie to them. You may not like what he tells you, but he's going to tell them the truth.
Yeah, he will. Sansa will believe him. Arya might not, but Arya might not want to listen to him, but Sansa will.
I think Arya will listen to him. I mean, they traveled together for so long. She knows that he's going to say what's on his mind. I do believe they know him.
She does. I'm just saying she hates it, but yeah, she might listen to what he like that. Yeah. I think yeah, I agree. I think the cat's paw's kind of I wanted to say, what's the next scene?
Davos.
Oh yeah, Davos
talking about the war. Mm-hmm. And then you got Tyrion and Dany at the big map table. And when it's turning over the rock, the lion little, what do you call it? It's on the map there. I think it's Tyrion that does the turning over of Casterly Rock, the lion. I think that's where they must have taken Casterly Rock, and he turns the lion over on the table. And him and her are there. I think that's just an angle. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think it's Tyrion knocking over the knight on Casterly Rock.
Yeah, the lion.
I mean, this has been a point of contention with he and Tywin that it's Casterly Rock is his because Jaime is his heir. So the rock has always been Tyrion's, and I think he will take it back just as a show of take back what's mine, just like Daenerys. He'll take Casterly Rock.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what out with the dragon. I don't know, but yeah.
I'll jump in there.
Go ahead, Steph.
when it comes to I forget where we are at. Hold on. Okay, this is my main point. Another dislike of this trailer or of the show in general. They really don't utilize Davos as much as they should. Talking about like he's a smuggler, he's all this stuff.
No.
I haven't seen him do any smuggling in a long time, aside from Gendry. So him being the picture of we need to band together to fight the ultimate. Why are you saying that? How have you even seen one? He hasn't even seen one. How do you even know they exist outside of the person that you hate saying it?
That's true.
Like
great point.
Yeah. I've thought about that before because he's not seen a White Walker or even a White at this point. He's just going by what the Lord Commander and the Wildlings tell him. And evidently they've made him a believer.
Well, he saw Jon get resurrected with Melisandre's power. I can understand Davos having this inkling of magic existing to that extent, but he hasn't seen one. You know what I mean? I feel like Davos, being the street smart person that he is, would be like, he's the one that said, "Don't burn Shireen, don't do this, don't do anything magic related." He's like, "Don't touch Jon, right?
Yeah.
This is only a last resort, right?" Like, he's not the person to be pitching this stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have found another person to do it.
I mean, this is the guy in the books who's like, I can't. Why am I the diplomat? I can't do this stuff. Why is he sending me? Yeah.
So to me, it doesn't make sense. As for the table, I love that meme going around of why is this table sticky? I found that hilarious. I'm just gonna say that right now. That was priceless.
Good girl, because I meant to say something about it. I don't think I believe I disinfected.
I haven't seen that. That's awesome.
Oh, it's so funny. Right, she's like leaning on the table, and like they have the picture of Tyrion right there, and she's like, "Tyrion, why is this table sticky?" It's so funny.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen that, but I thought it. I'll have to. You send that one to me.
So funny. I like this scene. I like her standing there. I like her looking the female version of Aegon the Conqueror. I like visual stimulation. It's all me when it's not there. Like I said in the beginning of the video, where they're saying east, west, south, north, whatever, and then they're just going north. But this makes sense of her planning her strategy, like of like, yeah, we're gonna do this, right? It's beautiful, yeah.
It's cool.
Well, we hadn't even got through the trailer yet. We hadn't got to who hasn't been in the trailer. So let's see what we got next. I brought it back a little bit, y'all. Arya. You sneaky little finger.
Yeah, that little fucker.
The mountain in his new costume. I didn't like it.
I love the armor. You didn't like it?
It made him look too, I don't know, it took away his bulk. You know, his shoulders.
It's true. I agree.
The shape of him looks different. I mean, it could almost be
maybe he's wasting away. Maybe he's wasting away. I don't know, but that crazy thing with the spikes on his head is standing in front of him. That weird black thing they made. Looks like Qyburn made some kind of helper or someone for. Maybe this is the Clegane Bowl or whatever. I've always been so against the Clegane Bowl of any kind, but maybe this is the sort of Clegane Bowl we'll get, is this crazy creature that was created with the spikes on his head, and he's all in black armor, and he doesn't look alive. So I don't know if that's who's going to fight the mountain, because that's who he's looking at. You can see the spikes. Don't know who that is. Or what it is, I should say.
Steffi, what do you think about the new costume for the mountain? Did we lose her?
No, I'm here.
She's froze up.
No, I'm right here.
Go ahead.
The outfit for the mountain is awesome. It's more like what I pictured. But I still don't like how they show his eyes. Just a personal preference. I feel like there needs to be more mystery to him. I
agree.
As for the whole Clegane thing, I mentioned that earlier. I kind of don't want it to happen. I would rather Jamie be a part of it this time around, especially for show-wise. I don't see the Hound coming to kill the person who's mysteriously might be his brother in the show.
Yeah.
I would ask my sister the same question, but she probably wouldn't even know either. To me, it would rather be Jamie. To me, yeah. Oh,
My theory, but theory is not in King's Landing. I had a silly theory that Arya would work a cat and it would run under the mountain's feet while he was walking down some stairs and he'd trip and fall into a brazier. Just my funny little thought.
I don't think it would kill him, though. Ashley.
Maybe not. No, not in that armor. That's some good armor right there.
But that makes sense with the epilogue of A Dance with Dragons of Keegan. You notice the cats, and then obviously you have the children in the whole Varys aspect. But for me, the whole Tommen thing and Winter's already coming. You're talking about if a cat were to just slip there or do something, that could be enough to send him down a hill or into freezing cold water where he's supposed to be dead to some extent. That would make sense. True. Yeah, I could see that playing out.
I got a question. If the mountain is undead and the White Walker comes, is he going to be working for the White Walker, or is he still going to be working for humanity?
Benji? I'm sorry, I missed who you said.
If the mountain is undead, okay, and he, and the Night's King comes and he raises all the dead people up, who is the mountain gonna fight for? The Night's King or the living at this point? Because he's not living, but he's not really dead.
Qyburn.
Yeah, that's I was gonna say himself and Qyburn.
It's necromancy, right? So whoever brought him back to life, he doesn't really technically serve Cersei, he serves Qyburn. So whatever Qyburn's aiming with him is, like, to me, that would make more sense.
Like, I don't know. I mean, they didn't even give him his name. Sir Robert Strong didn't do.
Really? He does. The next thing we got, ladies, is go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what's the next one?
Oh, okay. This is the guys running down the stairs, and I don't know if this is possibly a diversion or a fire at Winterfell, or if this is on above the wall. But I thought I saw Jon Snow carrying the torch, and it could have been Brianna behind him. It was somebody with gray or white hair or something. What did y'all take on it?
I actually couldn't tell. I thought it might be the crypts, but I don't see them all running down into the crypts unless we've just thrown all caution to the wind completely in all lines. So could be the crypts, but I had a feeling that it was under Dragonstone, maybe. Labyrinth.
Yeah, I had that feeling too. To me, when they show Melisandre looking down at the people, like the Great Wall of Dragonstone, that's what I've been calling it in my head. It kind of looks like that, and they're running along that. I don't know why they would be running along it at night. Maybe someone's attacking, bringing up the Aryan waters and the whole Loras Tyrell thing and the boiling oil and stuff like that. It could be just redoing that. And like a little attack from Cersei. Maybe kidnapping someone in her party. Maybe Jaime that would be very interesting if that was Jaime. In that scenario where he goes instead of Loras and he supposedly gets burned, but he's really not.
Right.
I could definitely see that.
I like that because we need somebody going to Dragonstone and getting burned, supposedly, in that story, getting back to Cersei. So maybe we do need Arryn Waters. Oh, that would be so cool. He's the one that brought that information back.
Yep.
There's a great question from Daryl Galt. Does Septa Lemore become the Franken Mountain's bride? Maybe that's who the black crazy thing is Septa Lemore the poor thing?
No, I think that's Jorah. I mean, even the way he holds his hand out is the way Jorah holds his.
Hand.
And
not
okay.
the hand, the black thing that's standing in front of the mountain, the Qyburn, that's got the spikes on his head.
Well, does that mean we're going to get a black wedding this year?
Anyway, go ahead, Nan, with what you were saying.
I was just asking, does that mean we're going to get a black wedding this year?
Oh.
Never mind.
I don't know. I hope not.
Well, do you think we're going to get any weddings this year?
Yeah,
None?
I do.
Yeah?
I do. I think maybe
Marion?
Cersei and Euron. I think Cersei and
Who?
Euron, maybe.
Oh, Euron.
Cersei and Euron. And we could also have Gendry marrying somebody for, like, Arya.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Happen though. I don't really see it happening.
Steffie,
Although,
what about you? Go ahead.
Thoros, who was left out. Thoros says something he's got to do.
Who?
Thoros.
Who did you say? Thoros? Yeah. Well, he's not going to marry anyway, I don't think.
No, not marry. Just we didn't see him in the trailer, so I wonder what he's going to be up to. Maybe
they
he's
were
the one
supposedly they were supposed to be going north. Isn't that what he told the mountain? There's a cold wind. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking no Clegane Bowl. You know, and like you say, I would just assume Jaime do it. No. But you know, if she marries Euron, that really does make that Valonqar Jaime more than likely to be the Valonqar. I don't know if anybody agrees with that or not, but that would do it. After everything he's done for her, yeah. I think he would kill her.
Make him leave, finally.
Yes, he'll be free eventually to go north to die in glory, I hope. What do you think, Steffie?
I don't know about any weddings. I could see the Cersei and Euron thing in the books. But in the show, I don't like Euron in the show. I hope he dies off quickly. Like they butchered his character really badly. Like you can't afford an eye patch. Like get out of here. Like honestly.
And that crown is
Really.
that crown really the crown alone. He put that thing on and he looked so silly. I laughed. I was like, oh my God, this is what they've done to the crow's eye. Thank you so much. So anyway, okay.
I think we got.
Carrie's in.
We've already talked about John in the crypts, I think. Getting Littlefinger.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Lannisters, they just get their tail whooped, it looks like. I don't know about y'all. Ooh.
They can become the Rains now. I bet we'll get a speech from Dany where she says, you know, from all memory.
Oh, I can't get that hand. Right there it is. Yeah. The hand is, to me, Jorah's. Anybody else? And I think they are going to do like a Makoro combination with it as far as that. But whether it's going to be done by a Red Priest or whether it's going to be by Mage, Marwyn the Mage, I don't know. That's to be seen. Anybody else?
I think that, well, I think the sleeve looks like Jorah's, but burned more than scale. So, and it looks like flesh is kind of it. So it doesn't look like Shireen's grayscale, that's for sure. So they're treating it, or they've burned it, or it's some kind of Makoro magic thing. Because I would love to see that. That's one of my favorite things about Victarion and that whole story is his arm. Also make Jorah fire, which would make sense for a Red Priest to do it. Maybe it to be produce Makoro. I guess they already sort of have a little bit, but narrow. So they could introduce Makoro as someone on the ship, or they could just have Melisandre do it, Sam do it. It looks like he's in a cell though, like Citadel or somewhere where he's in quarantine.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a bit of just to quickly, an homage to Quentin Martell too. Like, you know, Dragonfire maybe. Maybe they're treating it with something like Dragonfire. Just a thought.
Steffie?
Yeah, I'm in the boat with the whole Makoro thing. The one issue I have is, would Jorah go back to see Dany despite not having been cured? Like, would he put her in that harm's way? Like, that's the one thing that I can think of that wouldn't match up. So, like, maybe he's somewhere else. Maybe he went to the Citadel. Maybe he went to the Alchemists. Yeah. In King's Landing, I don't think so either, though. But like, I can definitely see Melisandre like secretly doing it, like behind everyone's back, kind of thing, right? Like her having a vision of it, and then her picking him up and being like, "Come with me, I'll help you." But yeah, outside of that, I don't see much.
I don't think he would go back to Dragonstone without being cured.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think he would put Dany in that kind of situation. until he's cured.
No, I agree. I agree.
Unless this is
Probably.
sorry, Ashley.
Go ahead. No, it's okay.
But
Go ahead.
unless this is one of Cersei's like dirty tricks, this is her like last end result trick where she sends Jorah out, like she kidnaps Jorah, right? Like
Oh,
she
God.
knows of someone, and then it starts the Great Plague across.
Oh, God.
That's the like. That's the only thing.
I have a
It
theory
does
about
like
that. I have
It
a
does
theory
look
about
like
that. Gray.
spell.
I have a theory about that grayscale, though. I think the grayscale is a throwback to the War of the Worlds. You know, where the aliens invaded and they got the only thing that could kill them was a bacteria or virus. And I think the grayscale may have some type of potential to be deadly to the whites or White Walkers or something. It's just got to be something because it's in the not only in the books, but they brought it back even to the point where, you know, even using Jorah to have it. You know, they didn't bring back John Connington, they gave it to Jorah. And it's being brought out again in these next few seasons. So there's got to be a purpose. I think it's like George said about the direwolves. He wouldn't have put it in there if it wasn't going to be used at some point. What do y'all think?
Go ahead. Do you want to go ahead, Steph, first?
Okay. For me, John Connington has it for the same reason I just said. It's basically to infect the southern end of Westeros. As for the show, they don't. The Wildlings mention that they do sort of have it in the north, like beyond the wall, but they don't really say anything about it. Like Gilly went all out. They made Gilly go all out on that. But for me, I don't think it's necessarily that it somehow harms the whites. I think if it's so hard for you to defeat them, like when Tyrion's in I think it's Southeros or not Southeros. What's the stupid Nymeria's land, the Dornish land. The rivers.
Dorne?
Yeah.
Dorne?
No. The rivers in Essos.
The
Oh,
Royne.
Volantis?
Yeah.
The
No.
Royne or Volantis?
The River Royne,
Volantis.
Yeah, Royne, that's it.
No. Yeah.
So when they're on the boat, it's so hard to defeat these people with grayscale. Like just by them being them. Imagine trying to do that when they're on Den and have grayscale. Like to me, that's like the ultimate weapon that you could possibly achieve. And this is probably why Craster ended up killing his kid that had it. Because it was probably so much better for them to have this weapon opposed to him getting his entire family infected from it. You know what I mean? Like when he's supposed to be breeding all these whatever's, right? He probably thought, let them have it, right? It's probably like a dual weapon, right? Like the sword with the double edges, right? Like that's my take on it. Like I feel like the others in the whites would use it even more. It would be more infectious that way.
Good point.
Yeah, I agree.
Very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Just my 10
I agree.
for the day.
Good too. I agree that it's gonna with John Connington it was gonna be a plague.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so.
I agree with you, Steph.
Yeah.
Love this. Eli's calling Euron Steve, and it's cracking me up so bad. Saying I call him Steve because he's not Euron. Steve all the time. It's hilarious. I'll never forget that. Yeah, anyway, I wanted to also say that Val goes insane in the books about and how she doesn't want the monster next to her, that it's death, and she keeps telling John that he obviously doesn't know what he's talking about because she's dead. See it, and neither can you. So that seems like it's death. It is death. It spreads. So maybe either he's been taken captive by Cersei and he's in those cells, because they do look a little bit like that, where, you know, they would, like every jail, they open the little thing to feed you. But, and they did have the top part too, or they opened to look through. So it could be that, being him hostage, or it could be him at the Citadel getting treated.
When people were doing like the reviews online, like I watched a few, some of them were saying that the door kind of looked like the one that Septa Unella was in. So that's why I brought it up. Like maybe he could be like a weapon for Cersei to use. Like maybe like, I will release grayscale and the great plague upon all of you if you do not obey me.
Right.
Like, crazy lunatic stuff.
You're doing that. Yeah, that was the door. I was behind. I couldn't think of the word. The High Sparrows, or the Sparrows jail. It's just not working tonight. I think the next scene might be Ilaria and Yara. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say something about it because I think Nan's away.
No, I'm back. I got Jon Snow running. I got Jon Snow and Tormund running somewhere above the wall, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
In goblin clothes. What did y'all think of that?
In a circle, they're running, and then they're going to make that circle formation because they're in trouble. Whenever you see that, I mean, whenever you make that circle formation, you're in trouble. So, I don't know. Doesn't look good, though. Except
yeah, like
John.
Sorry, Ashley, I keep stepping on your toes tonight. I'm so sorry.
It's because I take a minute and then I say another thing.
That is true. That is true.
True. I know.
Go ahead, Steffie.
I'll watch that.
Are you sure? Okay. Okay. The Dothraki and the Aurochs are before this. I think that's pretty obvious what that means. It doesn't need much explanation into that. Tormund and the circle and stuff. Did I just freeze? No?
You're
okay.
Good. Go ahead.
Okay. John and Tormund and the circle and stuff like that. Again, I think John hears from Ed that Bran went again beyond the wall to get something or whatever. Maybe like what is it? Dark Sister. Maybe that was it. Like maybe he saw a Dark Sister and he knew the location of where Brynden Rivers possibly put it and whatever. And he went back, and that's the only reason I can picture John and a little group of people who don't all have Valyrian steel swords or don't all have dragon glass. Like that's the only reason I could possibly think like they're gonna go hunting for Bran. Maybe there's more people like Benjen that are kind of in that limbo state of being undead but not, and maybe he stumbles upon them, like maybe the original people that formed the Night's Watch, maybe kind of like waking sleeping giants. Maybe he goes and does that kind of thing. I forget the words verbatim, but it's something sleeping giants, whether that's stone giants or something. Like maybe that's what Bran goes and does, and that's where they're at, and then you see like a bunch of giants coming, like one like stone giants or whatever from the past. I don't know, but it has to be something with Bran. Yeah, that's it, actually.
Waking giants from stone. Is that it?
Yeah.
I thought that was the Horn of Winter. Horn of Joramun woke giants from stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, the one we've got that could be is the horn that Sam sells everything but keeps the horn on his way to Old Town. You know, it looks more like the one on the book, front of the book cover that they show anyway, not the dragon horn from. You know, we haven't even seen a dragon horn in this.
Yeah, the Horn of Joramun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of had a thought of like they went up there to find something that they hid. It made me think of the Fist of the First Men and the stuff that was hidden. Or maybe they're going up there to stash more obsidian so that they can prepare for a fight. I don't know.
Hold on. For me, in the book, that's my theory is that Sam doesn't have the horn. I don't believe that to be the case at all. I don't think little Sam's going to blow the horn from a million miles away and something's going to happen to the wall. It seems way too far-fetched to me for that to play out. I feel like people are going to be like, what? Like this huge echo is going to come across, and then it just seems a little too far-fetched. It's not George R. R. Martin's style. I feel like he's very secretive. Like he's been secretive up until this point about the White Walkers and the South not believing them. For them to hear an earth-shattering thing, or for a horn to be blown so loud that it shatters some part of the wall in the north, it just seems a little weird for me. But Borok and in the books, his boar, he's a skin changer, and he's digging in the grave at Castle Black. I feel since they honor the previous Night's Watch members with burials, and they bury them with their swords or their most prized possession and stuff like that. And it mentions it during the Dance with Dragons in the last few chapters too, right? I just feel like that's where the horn's going to be, and if it's going to do anything, it has to do something with either the wall or the stone giants. So this Borok's going to find it, blow it, and something's going to happen. Like it's just going to be happenstance where this is just going to come across. So for me, just no on the area.
Right. I agree. I don't have much to say because I agree completely with everything you just said.
Well, we got the scene of Grey Worm and Melisandre, and now we got the scene that y'all were talking about with Yara and Alaria. So I'll let y'all elaborate. To me, looking is enough. And they probably could show more of that than I want. I mean, to me, this is filler. You know,
I think it's more myself.
Is it?
I think it's
you think so?
The part with Ilaria and Yara, I think is important because I noticed something, and I could be wrong, but it looks like Ilaria's reaching back a little bit, knife, and that she's got a knife and she's gonna stab Yara. They're so, the Dornish are so good at, seducing people and then poisoning them. So I was, it might be that Ilaria poisons Yara. That brings part of Victorian's storyline in again, or more, Quentin's storyline, someone dying. It's just, it made me think that she was about to kill Yara, and the sharpening of the spear in the beginning made me think that maybe the Sand Snakes are gonna, the Ironborn or somebody even that they're with, against something that's going on. Maybe Euron is there. They're trying to attack him. just decide to take out the Greyjoys altogether. I thought it looked like she was reaching for something.
I
The
just
Grey
thought
Worm
she
and the
was leaning
Sunday.
in. I just thought she was leaning in for a kiss. To be honest with you, I didn't take it as that, but it's possible.
It looks like her arm is reaching back to me, like she's about to stab, but
It's called anatomy. This scene is, I'm with you, Nan. I actually got spoiled on this recently. I was kind of pissed off about it. This is just filler to me. This is demographic baiting. That's what it is, and I find it really low for HBO to stoop so low. Let's put it that way. Yara / Asha is a very strong woman. I don't understand why she needs to be affiliated like that. I can understand the Dornish and that appeal of being a superior area and having this. But you're talking about where the Iron Islands put so much emphasis on breeding, salt wives, land wife, kids. Like, to me, this is a hard life. We must breed, and like it's kind of Viking, like, and to me, it doesn't do much to her character. Ilaria, I hate Ilaria, so it doesn't matter.
yeah,
But I don't like it. I didn't like it the previous season. I found it funny between Danny and her, that kind of interaction. Like, I can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, I found that hilarious. I found that more funny than anything Braun ever said in the show. That's how funny I found it.
it was good.
Like, that was priceless. And Danny's like, oh, really? Like, because with
mom.
Danny, it's more or less emphasized in the book that she swings both ways, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for this, I feel like I don't like it. It's basically filler to me, and
it does remind me of last year's trailer where Melisandre was there was somebody, maybe it was Yara again, was kissing a prostitute with a tear. Yeah, it was Yara. So it reminds me of that, just that it might be just something that's happening in the background. These things are, like Tyrion walking on the cliff. Some of those things just go by in a heartbeat when the show comes out, and we go, oh, that was from the trailer. Oh, great. So yeah.
Well, to me, it's more like, I mean, there's so much that they need to get to in the last 2 seasons. I mean, let's just get to it. Unless, as you say, this is in the book or picking up a part of the book.
Okay, I admitted to being spoiled on this. Basically, what this is supposed to do is make you have more feels, like when something happens. That's it. That's the end game. That's it. That's all that is. Which could have happened without this scene.
So when they die, we're supposed to feel more for them because of this?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
Well, it's not that they die. I don't know that they die. It's alluded to that they possibly could die.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to give you more feels, like, oh, these were such a happy couple. Like, no, they fucked and they diddled around with each other, and then you're supposed to have more feels for them. Like, do I care about the people in the club or the bar that are making out after 5 minutes of knowing each other? No, I don't care.
True.
Just move along. Give me more information about the books.
Oh, I don't know why they do it. I really don't. It's like all I can remember is Theon with his hands down Yara's pants at the beginning, and it's still going on. Oh, God.
Well, y'all want to
All
move
right, what we
on?
got?
We got the ones in falling off into the water.
Yeah,
Is it Yara and Theon or what? Y'all think?
that's what I thought. I thought it was Theon and somebody. Hopefully Yara, but I don't know. Somebody jumping off of that burning ship, but that's all I know. Could be the whole thing with the no, it wouldn't be the Sari night. It wouldn't be anything like that because it's somebody saving somebody. Yara saving Ilaria. I don't know.
What you think, Steffi?
We skipped over the Grey Worm and Missandei kissing scene.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so that's what it is. I see that relationship makes sense to me. They developed it properly for me to connect to these two individuals. It is what it is. For me, I feel like I don't know if the Unsullied are actual eunuchs. I feel like they might be circumcised, or they might be clipped at a certain nerve so they don't feel anything there. But I feel like it's still there. Like, I feel like it's a mystery. I know that sounds really weird, but I feel there's no proof for them to be eunuchs, if that makes sense. Where with Varys, he explains, yeah, a crazy nut cut off my dick. But with them, it's not really explained to that extent in the books, where it's like they hack it off or anything like that. With Theon, it's implied, like he's shaking and he's like all nervous. It's like, I'm not a man anymore or whatever. Yeah, so for me, I feel like it's still there, and she's gonna be like, oh my god. That's what I'm hoping for.
I love it.
I'm weird like that. But that's what I'm hoping for. Like, they're not getting rid of these guys. I feel like you would lose a lot of your oomph, like your testosterone, if you were to just hack it off. Right? So for me, if these men were to be as formidable as they're claimed to be, I don't think you would do that.
Yeah,
that's just my
but let me tell you something. Now you're talking testosterone. I'm gonna have to stick up for the women here a little bit. And I've known women that can do anything that men can do. Testosterone or no, estrogen. Yes, estrogen. It's good.
But yeah, see,
but I understand what you're talking about. Yara is another prime example of an independent female character who stands on her own. She has commanded other people and everything. So yeah, I'm all for strong, independent women and all that. So yeah, I don't know if the testosterone, I mean, if you got somebody beating you, that's a lot of incentive to do what they say. You know, and these Grey women then were slaves. So if they didn't make the grade, they were dead. So that's a lot of incentive to make the grade.
I'm just hoping for this to be true. I'm not saying that it is. People in the chat are saying, yeah, it says root and stem are gone, like Danny was mentioning it and stuff like that. Like, it's implied that it could be or it could not be. Like, obviously this Unsullied went to this prostitute for loving, but he's like, you don't need to take off your clothes and do all this like fancy stuff. He is assuming that something happened to him. And if you're a kid and something were to happen to you traumatically in that region, I'm pretty sure whoever was Stockholming syndrome you or grooming you, whoever was grooming you to think this way could influence you to the point of you believing you do not have that ability. Also, you're talking about the drink that they use too, which is the chat is forgetting. They drink stuff, the Unsullied, to make them more stronger. If that thing makes you inept, then obviously you assume you are inept, if that makes sense. As for, I forget what I was gonna say after that. Someone else can talk, but that's what I believe. I believe it's all a mystery, and it's gonna be like, oh my god. That's what I hope.
I love it. I wish. I think it's just really sweet, and that it's it's just a scene where finally they come together, because this has been building for a while, and it's just I've heard, like, I listened to a couple videos, and I heard people like going, what are they gonna do? And it's like, well, what do you think they're gonna do? I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can have sex without having intercourse, there's lots and lots of things you can do. So, question in the world what they're going to do. It's just really sweet. And it's also, we had this before with the other Unsullied who was killed in the brothel, said he wanted to be held. So to me, it's just sweet. And I love those two. And I love Missandei. And I just think it's sweet.
Yeah, I think it's about time, I mean, and as far as them not having anything, I mean, hey, I'm old. You're going to learn a lot of things between now and my age. So, yeah, it can happen. Things can happen. And I won't go into it any further because I'm an old woman, and y'all just take it from that. Take it from an old woman.
We know. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to say something that Plexi, thank you, Plexi, for reminding me. I was going to say earlier, and I had it written down, that I wonder if take on the Dusky Woman role, that she might become Yara's paramour, Arya Sand, and who's being saved. Because there is the Dusky Woman with Victarion in the books, and Euron gives her to him, and he says, "Oh, I don't want Euron's sloppy seconds, but I'll take it." And she's a sorceress. There's something there that they could play with. I'd love to see the Dusky Woman in there too.
Well, you don't know but what you want, or you may not, because Drawers got to get on a boat to go somewhere to get fixed, to get healed, I would think. So you very well may. And that very well may be a boat that he's in quarantine on.
Yeah, I mean, they could even have the Dusky, well, I don't know.
I don't think we got time for it to go into that, though. The show, as far as that goes. Steffi?
I'm going to jump in on the Dusky Woman. I think that makes sense. Do I want it to be Arya Sand?
Yeah.
Hell no. I would rather be anyone else. I'm sick of her. Kill her off. Get her off. Okay, your favoritism has lasted long enough. I don't advocate for people losing their jobs either. Like, especially in acting. It comes along every once in a while. You get a gold star, and then you roll with it to the very end. But
exactly,
due to the artistic quality of A Song of Ice and Fire, they compromised it due to favoritism and bias, and it was disgusting. And I want her gone because it's ruining my entertainment.
One bit. Yeah, Plexi, you're right. Yara's another character that they didn't put much thought into. They just didn't. He's an incredible character, Asha. So,
yep.
Anyway.
Okay, let's check out the people who are not there and what we can come up by their absences. If we got time. Oh Lord, is it that late already?
We're at 9. We've been talking.
Wow. Briefly, Sam and Gilly are missing. Y'all help me out
Yeah.
here.
Missing. Thoros is missing. The Brotherhood's missing.
Hound.
Uh,
The Hound is missing.
we saw
Gendry
Varys
is missing.
tiny bit.
Varys is
Yeah,
missing.
but Gendry is missing.
Varys was in that scene
Yeah.
where they were walking on the Great Wall of Dragonstone.
At-
He was in the Moo dress. I
Yeah.
noticed that.
yeah. Yeah, he was.
Yep.
That's what I call it.
I love it. And we missed Randall Tarley.
Yeah,
We didn't see any of them. We didn't see any of them. But the last scene is the Dothraki with Daenerys on the dragon coming up. You know, I mean, I think that's just, whoa, I can't wait to see all this, you know? So I'm excited. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited.
It'll be battle, battle, battle.
Yeah. We were going to talk about Rhaegar, and I have to apologize to Pete Easy because we intended to talk about Rhaegar. It sound like MASH, but we intended to talk about Rhaegar tonight. Pete, we'll get back to him another night. Yeah, we did. We did talk about the Stark reunion, and I think we will be seeing the 3 Starks. And what else, you Lady Scott?
Yeah, Dave is right in the chat. We're missing Bran too from the trailer. We're missing Mira. We're missing Benjen since they brought him back. We're missing the Whites. Technically, they're nowhere to be found. Night's King is not there either. A lot of people are missing from that trailer. Qyburn didn't have much of a part in that trailer either. He could have been there a little more. We're missing Marwyn. A lot of people. A lot of people.
Can't wait to see Marwyn. I'm so excited for Jim Broadbent to play him. I love him. Love him.
Is he doing Marwyn or Ambrose?
I don't know, but he should do Marwyn. It just fits so perfectly. I can't see him playing anything else, but I don't know for sure. He said he's playing somebody very important.
Well, Marwyn the Mage is very important as far as I can tell.
Right. So I would think. I hope. I was gonna say Benjen. We're missing Benjen, and I want to say are going to see one of the swords.
One of the what?
Sorry, Nan. What?
I missed that, Ashley. You're gonna see one of the.
Oh, I just said it. One of the swords, one of the Targaryen swords, Black Sister or Dark Sister. I know you brought that up, Steffi, but I didn't get to say anything about it, and I wonder if either Bloodraven left it with the Night's Watch, and when he gave Longclaw to Jon, the pommel was fixed, and it might have been the eyes on Ghost's eyes. They're rubies, so it might be glamored too.
That would be epic.
Thought that I had.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Be really cool. Especially if Jon's a Targaryen, it would be a Dark Sister.
Yeah. Can y'all call out some of the people in the chat and let's get them, tell them all. Let's see what I see. Who we got? John Anaya, LMF, Sir LT Giles, Dave, I'm sorry, Treseski. I'm sorry I butchered that name.
Tresky, it looks
Harrison, Yeah, Kara's and Plexi. Am I missing? Who else have we seen here? Biotic. Thank you, girl.
Which also
T Baby showed up. Thanks, T Baby, for
Did
showing
T
up.
Baby? Thank you, T Baby.
yeah, T
Justin
was
ended
here.
Justin showed up. Hold on. Can I open this a little more?
And there was also, we had Ion for a minute. And
Oh,
yeah,
Ion.
Carrie's
Yeah,
in.
he's.
There was a lot of people in the
And
chat.
Pete was here earlier. Yeah, a lot of people. We thank you so much for coming out,
So much.
putting up with us silly women. We enjoy our Game of Thrones as I know you do, or you wouldn't be here.
I'm sorry, Nan. I have to say hi
Go
to Eli.
ahead.
Yeah.
Eli was here, so
we got Billy Payne too. I like your BP sign, Billy.
I do too. And the boy one day. The boy one day.
Mm-hmm. And anybody else we missed out there, we thank you for coming. I'm gonna let these ladies tell you about themselves.
All right. I am Ashley, Lady Ashley. You can find me at the Iron Underneath. I haven't done a video for months and months since I've been doing this, but I'm planning on putting out a series of videos and doing some reviews when the show starts. So if you want to find me, you can find me at the Iron Underneath. Thanks so much, you guys, for being here. You mean the world to us, so thanks. Steph?
Thanks for showing up, everybody. Thanks, ladies. It was a blast talking to you both again. I know 2 weeks seems like forever. Like it must be the summer. That's all I can think about, where it's just like time's flying. And I do apologize if I'm yelling or if I'm a little nasally. I am sick. I apologize for all that. And yeah, it was just a blast, and I can't wait for the show to start and to get everything going. Yep. Cheers.
I hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Yes. Hope you do feel better.
You guys.
And thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. And please come back to see us again at the She Wolves of Winter. Good night.